I look out amongst this crowd, and I see a whole army of USA powerlifters. And powerlifters you are. What would you do without powerlifting? You could sit at home, and you'll live for a little while. But many years from now, when you're watching on the live stream, from that point to this, wouldn't you want one chance, just one chance, to say you came to Chicago, you got on the stage and competed at the national championships, where they may take our wives, they may take our A7 crop tops, but they will never take our powerlifters, our powerlifters. They will never take our powerlifters. Give me a round of applause for the powerlifters. They won! Come on! Ladies and gentlemen, the bars are going to be loaded momentarily as soon as the chief referee gets set. Give me one more round of applause for the powerlifters.
And good evening, good afternoon. This is Kathy Marksteiner with
L.S. McLean.
And we're here to, and we are
getting things started.
Up on the platform first is going to be Heidi Lewis. She is the women's 84-plus world university champion who just won this past year. She's the first up on the platform.
That's looks like a next warm-up to me, but nicely done.
And that was 175 kilos, and that was a good lift.
Shauna Rufus opening up with 187 kg. Nice strong setup. All right, we got a smoke show. We got 2 smoke shows in a row. Shana Rufus, make it look easy. Like you see from that playback, absolutely.
We're going to get a replay on that.
Get a repeat.
Here we go. We'll watch this again.
Copper Carter. Yeah, they're both in our ear.
On the platform,
Quick work out of that one.
Cooper Carter.
2-1. Judges say no. Got to work a little bit on that depth.
So
Definitely
she
should be
got
back.
2 red lights.
Obviously, I'm a coach. I'm definitely going to have her repeat that. Doesn't look like it's hard at all. So we can run that back pretty quick. We got Alexis Walker.
Now we've got 9 women who are competing in the 84 plus here at the prime time on Sunday at the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals on prime time on Sunday.
Oh, Alexis.
This is
actually,
Alexis
I actually
Walker.
know Alexis. She's actually out of Texas. Was an athletic trainer at Texas State University.
Here she goes.
Nicely done.
She was opening up with 195 kilos, 429
Quick
pounds.
little 195. Definitely see Alexis again. As you can see, not a problem at all with that. Smoke show real quick. Looked like an opener. Well done. And all right, we got Erica Murphy coming up, opening up with a 197.5. She's out of Victoria, Texas. asked her on the back, anybody in particular you want to shout out? She's like, man, all of Texas, Victoria, Texas in particular. So Victoria, Texas, Erica shouts you out.
She's opening up with 197.5 kilos, 435 pounds.
Nicely done. I see you without the knee sleeves. Talking about raw.
And
We're going raw.
She went 2 for 1 on that particular lift. So she got a good lift on the board, but one referee, the side referee, said she would like to see it go a little bit deeper. We will see that. We'll see a replay after every single one of these live lifts.
Shots, so you can actually be the judge with the slow-mo.
Tabitha Miller is going to be our next lifter. She's out of Minnesota.
Opening up the 200 kg.
That's 440 pounds.
Nice quick breath, drops it back down, stands it back up. Judges say 2 to 1.
2 to 1. The center referee says that he'd like to see her go a little bit deeper on that. Here we go on that replay. Up next is going to be Sarah Brenner. Now, Sarah Brenner.
Oh, man, Sarah squats.
Sarah is bringing in, she's starting off at 227.5 kilos, 501. 501. She owns the American record deadlift in this weight class. Here we go. We're going to watch Sarah as she goes for this 501 on her opener.
Nicely done.
Drops it in, makes it look like it's an empty bar on there.
Dunk work.
3 white lights for Sarah.
As you see this replay, Sarah just wanted me to let you guys know that if nothing else, she does it for her bulldog, Daisy Doodle.
Daisy Doodle.
I can't make this stuff up, I swear. She said she does it with Daisy Doodle.
All right, up next is the teen phenom out of Florida, Mahala Reeves.
Mahala Reeves.
And she just set an incredible record. She set an American bench press record.
I'm telling you.
She is brand new to powerlifting. This is a brand new phenom, opening up 237.5 kilos, 523
Good Lord.
pounds.
High key, if you blinked, you missed that one. I'm telling you that right now. Moving weight now. We're moving weight. And this is a youngster, ladies and gents.
She's 14 years old.
14 years old.
I think she's a little happy with that one.
Cheese and rice, boy. She moved that one, boy.
All right, up next is Legend. She goes by
I'm telling you.
the bubbly powerlifter, but we call her Bonica Brown. Now, she owns world records, world titles. One year she won the trifecta, won the World Games, won the World Classic, and the World Equipped. And what's really cool is I remember watching her when she was 14 years old, brand new, and she was a phenom then. Just incredible. And down, and she owns.
I talked to her a little bit in the back. I was like, we have any goals in particular? She said, honestly, I want to go 9 for 9. I want to have a very solid meet. Spoken like a true vet, true champion.
Absolutely.
Never married to any numbers. You just go out there, you take what's there at that particular point in time.
So let's talk about, Bonica is the reigning world champion and world record holder in the squat, the bench press, and the total. Mm-hmm. She holds the American squat record in the total because you can only set world records at regional or at NAPF or IPF regionals.
Exactly.
All right. Heidi Lewis is on the platform. This is her second attempt.
185.
407.
Well done.
And again,
she's happy with that. I'm happy for you, baby girl. Good job.
She is a brand new graduate of Ohio State University.
The Ohio State.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Ohio State.
The Ohio State.
You're going to hear from somebody.
But she is the 84-plus world champion at the World University Cup.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Cooper Carter
coming up.
Yeah. Now, she wasn't successful on her opener.
And the thing is, it moved quickly. But I think the judges want to see just a little bit more out of her.
Right.
And obviously, the coach is doing what coach is supposed to do. They just repeated the weight, which is smart. Keep yourself in the game. You want to make sure that you get in. You want to get in the game first.
Absolutely. And this is actually her personal. This will tie her personal record.
See, so you have a PB that's now your opener. That
And she is on the board.
Yeah.
And she
3
is
straight.
on the
Good
board.
stuff. Good stuff. Now we're in the game, baby girl. Now we can kind of play. We're playing with house money now.
Exactly.
Well done. Well done. Shayna Rufus coming up. 195. She was unsuccessful. Again, the weight moved quickly, but judges want to see a little bit more out of her, so we are going. We're still going up, even though we didn't necessarily get the credit for the 187.5. We're going 195.
So she's feeling really confident in her strength.
I definitely don't think strength was an issue there with that 187.
And she drops it in there.
Dunked that
and
bad
just,
boy.
I mean,
so I would assume that we're going to see 3 whites, and we did. Right. So we're moving on. She's in the game now. Good stuff.
Again, this is our strongest. These were our opening qualifying totals, the top 9 opening qualifying totals in the 81, 84 plus kilo class. And we had a grand total of, I think it was like, I don't remember exactly how many we had.
Alexis.
Hang on a second. We had 81 lifters in that.
81 lifters. Walking out 205. If 195 was any indication how this bad boy is going to move.
This is Alexis Walker, 205.
205. Judges say 3 white.
3 white
That's
lights.
Right. Awesome. As you watch the replay, asked her if she had anything, anywhere that she wanted to shout out. She's like, I'm going to keep it plain and simple. Shout out Fort Myers. Shout out Florida. Shout out my mama. So mama in Fort Myers, Florida, Alexa says, shouting you out. So that being said, we have Erica Murphy coming up. Hit that 197.5. Now we're moving up to 205.
And Erica's out of Texas.
Definitely out of Texas, out of Victoria, Texas. So on the other side of San Antonio. Nice brace, open it up. Set it up.
Way to go. Slow down
now
a
we'll
bunch
see what
and
the
then
front
move
judge
forward.
thinks about this one. This time she got 3
white lights. So that was 217. No, I'm sorry. That was 205.
205.
Speed, speed, speed. Up next is Tabitha Miller.
Tabitha Miller coming around that corner, ready to roll. Hit a very successful 200. Now we're moving up 17.5 keys. 217.5. Steps it out. Looks nice and solid. She'll take a little quick breath and dump. Boom. Up. Stands up. Nicely done, ma'am.
And we are moving some weight. That was 400. That was basically 480 pounds.
She does not waste any time. She takes that big breath, dunks it down, stands on up. Nicely done. Sarah squats, Miss Sarah Brenner herself. Rounding that corner. She's very successful with that 227.5. Coached by Arian Tank.
So she has called for 240 kilos.
Keys.
She's out of the state of Pennsylvania.
Out of PA.
And she holds the American record in the deadlift.
Now here's a fun fact. It's not necessarily a fun fact, but here's a fact. When I was talking with Sarah, she was a little bit banged up. She does work with some special needs kids at some point, and she actually was attacked at work.
Oh my goodness!
She got banged up a little bit. She stands up, nice.
There she goes. She gets it. Let's see what the referees say for that 240 kilos, and that was a good lift.
Yeah. So like we said, Sarah actually was attacked at work, so she's been on the mend a little bit, but able to heal up enough to come here and compete on the national level stage. Which I think is absolutely awesome. We love you, Sarah. Get better
absolutely.
soon,
and Sarah, we hope that you have an awesome meet. White lights to every one of our lifters.
White lights to all lifters. So we have Mahala Reeves jumping up to 245. Now I want you to think about this, ladies and gents. This is real talk. This is a 14-year-old young woman. So that makes her pretty much a middle schooler. I'm going to tell you right now, there was nobody in my middle school that was even half this strong. This is guys and girls included. This is, man, I'm telling you, we're seeing something special. She's feeling it. We're feeling it. The crowd's feeling it. Pretty sure the judges, they're feeling it. Stands up with it. Nathan, let's go. Let's go. Well done. Well done. So we have Benika the Legend Brown coming around the corner. She's going with a 252.5. She opened up with 242, so we only took a nice little 10K jump. Chest bumps the bar in her fashion. Rocking the ER a little bit. Now, for those of you that don't know, she's actually been dipping and diving a little bit into strongman.
She has.
And has been scaring a few people in the strongman world, to be exact. Actually, just had a strongman show a couple weeks ago. She stands up with that 252.5. Nice work, sweetheart. Nice work.
Okay, that was 556 pounds, that 252.5.
And while we watch the replay, she wanted me to give a particular shout out to Christian and Brittany for helping her as they have helped her in her introduction to the strongman world. So good job, Benika. Good job. So Heidi Lewis is back up for their final attempt, 192.5. We'll take some nice solid jumps.
We're starting off with our third attempts. Everybody's going to be pushing if they can. They're going to be pushing those personal records.
For sure. Nicely done.
All right, and that will match Heidi's personal record,
well done.
personal best.
It's always fun to watch them smile as they stand up. You're thinking about all that training you did to get to that final point, man, and before you stand up, right before you hit that point of lockout, that smile comes out.
It does indeed.
I know the feeling. I'm not mad at you for that one.
It does indeed.
Not mad at you for that one. Good job, Heidi. So Copper Carter coming around the corner. Unsuccessful with the first 195, very successful with the second 195. Move up 10 kg up to 205. Now, she for sure didn't have a strength issue with that 195, so I'm hoping to see this 205 move just as well as it did with the 195. Nice brace. She locks in. Stands up with it. Stands up with it.
It was a little slow, and then she accelerated back out of it. Let's see what the referees say. And the referees say
no, it was a little high. Okay, just a little high.
It was a little high on one side, and then the other referee said that the bar either went down or she did not lock her knees.
Had a little movement moment right there, and
because there was a blue card on one side and a red card on the other, and the red card means that it is due to depth.
Exactly.
The blue card means that they didn't. The bar went back down, or they didn't have the knees locked at the beginning or the end of the lift.
Awesome. So if any guys were wondering what the colors were and what the cards were about, Kathy just broke it down for you.
All right, up on the platform is Shania Davis, Rufus.
207.5. If you blinked, you would have missed it.
And you know what? She just shattered her personal record. Her previous personal record was 200. She just did 207.5.
Well done. Well done. Setting to that one real nice. Well done. Congrats. So we have Alexis Walker coming up, trying to finish things up. I believe it's 215. Fort Myers' very own Alexis Walker. Had a little bit of problem with that 205, just at that midpoint. She was able to kind of stand up through that. So with this 215 with a
now she's
10
got
kg
this
jump, we'll see what she has going. I feel like she has it in the tank. We'll see. She hit that midpoint right there. That's right where we're
just pushing it. Just pushing it. If she had gotten that, it would have been a new PR. But she came away with the successful second attempt at 205. All right, moving up to Erica Murphy now. 220 kilos, 485 pounds.
Now we're getting up there. Starting to knock on the fives or getting over the fives.
485 pounds.
And for me, it's always impressive seeing anybody come around that corner without any sleeves at all. I just think I'm too much of a chicken to go without sleeves. But raw is raw. She's going raw plus extra raw. Stepping in there, getting squared up. Moving up from 205 to 220. More of a wider setup. So you really have to kind of dig deep and open up with just a little bit more than normal.
Elbows rocked
Now
up
she had
back a
bit
little
of a stop.
bit.
She
And
had a
then
little bit of a stop and go on that
All
one. So
right.
we'll see what the judges say.
just as long as the bar doesn't go down. If the judges didn't say the. Okay,
Yeah.
so we had an assortment of colors on the referee's decision on that one. One side referee gave a death call as well as the blue card. So the red and the blue card. And then the chief referee and the side referee
Right.
the other side referee gave a yellow card. Now
Right.
there could be many different things.
Right.
You didn't wait for the signals. You used your elbows to push off of your legs, or
A lot
they
of
were
technical
using
things
support.
that could have gone into play with that one.
Exactly.
Tabitha Miller finished things up with 227.5, but that's 5:01. And remember, she just takes that quick breath, dunks the thing, and stands up with it. Here we go. Angie stands up with it.
Okay,
Bam.
and that was
Judges
501, 227. Good
Well
lift,
done.
and she just set a whole new personal record by
stuff.
5 kilos. 227 now. 227.5 kilos at
I love
501.
it. She does not mess around when it comes time for these squats. Takes that quick breath, and it's a wrap after that. So, moving up from 240 to 245, took a nice little 5 kg jump. We have Sarah, Miss Sarah Squats. If you ever meet her, I'm telling you right now, she smiles all the time.
So again, this is Kathy Marksteiner
L.S. McLean.
and we are here at the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals, 1,300 plus lifters strong in Lombard, Illinois. This is the final day of
Final
5
day.
days of lifting. Prime time, 84 plus
time
women,
slot.
and the 120, 120 plus men.
If you missed it, you missed out.
Here's Sarah Brenner on the platform at 245 kilos.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now.
540 pounds right there.
I'm hoping and praying that Sarah watches this replay because I want her to hear me say that I'm officially mad at her right now for making her final attempt look easier than her second attempt. We have issue now. So she and I were going to have words after this is over with because that final attempt looked absolutely amazing in comparison to that second.
I
Well
think
job.
the words should be, LS, how do I do it next time myself? That's what you need to be asking her is, all right, how do I
Show
make
me
my
what you did.
how do I make my
What's the
third look
secret?
easier than number
What
two?
is the secret?
All right,
Now, speaking of secret, this young lady, there's something in the water down there.
brand new to powerlifting.
Brand new to powerlifting.
And a bench press phenom,
I am telling you.
14-year-old
And I'll be honest
Mahala
with you,
Reeves.
I'm telling you, this squad ain't too shabby either.
I'm sorry, she's 15.
15.
15 years old.
The ripe old age of 15 years.
And she has got 255 kilos on that bar. That's 562 pounds. A 15-year-old teenager.
15-year-old. That's insane. Well done. Couldn't really get it out of the bottom. Looked good right to the point. Look, I had a little bit of concavity going on, and she was smart about it. Instead of fighting with it, you want to live to fight another day. Tell her no. You have some super good spotters back there. Shout out to the spotters for keeping us safe. And we have the legend, Bonica Brown
coming
around
on the platform.
corner.
Oh, yeah.
257.5. Took a nice 5 kg jump. Now, Bonica, she's a little bit banged up now. Understand, she's a three sport star in terms of power sports. Now you have obviously Equip, Raw. Now she has, of course, strongman going on.
Right.
So that's 3 different disciplines altogether. So I mean, there's a lot taxed on the body.
Little bit of dabbling, but that tells you how quality an athlete she is.
An amazing athlete. She scared a lot of people. So I'm excited to see how she does in strongman world.
She
again,
is just she puts it down there.
I'm telling you.
Anybody who says I can't get down, Bonica says she erases any of your excuses.
Exactly.
Any of your imagined validations. She says this is how you do it.
Now, Catherine,
and then she made it awesome.
Remember what I said about my beef with Sarah, how she made the third attempt look better than the second? I'm going to have to put it on repeat for Bonica. She did the exact same thing. We're going to have words. And, of course, Bonica wanted me to shout out Emily Pernice that's watching right now. So, shout out to you, Emily. Now, we're starting with the big boys, the 120-plus guys. Coming up, we have he's been a multiple-time world champion and world record holder in 120-plus in one division, Mr. Jason Mike, Mr. Athletic over everything. Believe it or not, this 41-year-old man can actually dunk a basketball.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the video of that.
With ease. And as he walks that bad boy out, Jason wanted to make sure that he shouted out his son, Jordan. says Daddy loves you. And, of course, his biggest goal for this one is obviously to do as well as it can and to go as close to injury-free as possible, as all the athletes' goal really is, to make sure they're as injury-free as possible.
We want to return to the platform in the future.
I'm telling you,
all right.
Fight another day for sure.
That was a good lift for Jason. Good lift for Jason. He just had one red light on the right-hand side.
Now, coming up, we have Ryan Stills, who's, honestly, guys, he's one of my favorites to watch, man, because this guy, he gets his motor revving, he gets his motor running, and it's just a smoke show after that. Crazy thing is, if you see the guy in the back, he's sitting nice, calm, very stoic, eyes closed, never really says a thing to anybody, and then when the lights come on, it's go time for this guy.
And
so Ryan Stills, she's respecting a lot of fire and vinegar out of this guy. One of the greatest beards, if not the greatest beards in the USAPL right now. That bad boy's full of body.
And so Ryan is also competing not only in the open division, but he's also competing as a Masters 1. He holds some of those records. He's been a multi-time world champion.
Mm-hmm. That 290, as quickly as it moved, obviously that's an indication of what he's kind of doing with this.
3 white lights on that opening attempt with 290. Up next is going to be C.J. Iliff out of Ohio, 302.5.
302.5. So we're already past the 300 key mark. We're not even 3 in. That's crazy.
302.5. That is the.
Cheese and rice. This is not a small man.
And this is Gino's favorite number.
Is
666. You bet.
302.5. CJ, 120 kg category. Squaring up. Not the easiest opener, but you know what? It didn't look too
but
heavy.
He got 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
When you walk off that platform, the 3 white lights are all you really care about.
That's all you care about. You don't care about
2 out of 3.
Exactly.
But if you see that third one and it's a red, the thing is the referees are telling you what you need to fix for that next one. You come back and you fix it.
Honestly, if you're by yourself, then obviously you almost need to almost ask someone. If you have a coach, that's the first thing that coach needs to do. Needs to find out why he got that red light.
Exactly, and that's the reason why those cards or that number or that the color underneath that red light is so important.
So important.
All right, up next we've got Trey Robertson, and he's going at 307.5. And this is 677 pounds. And Trey is lifting in the 120-plus class. He's our only junior in this weight class.
And it's crazy because Trey doesn't look like a junior. Well, he looks like he has his own junior. But you know what? It's funny how it doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter how old or young you look.
Unfortunately,
but the judges say
Trey got 3 red lights. 3 red lights. It's a no lift, and all 3 referees had the same card, a red card, meaning depth. He did not meet the depth standard, which is the crease of the thigh at the top of the hip joint has to go below the top of the knee. That's the only description that's in the rule book. The crease of the thigh at the top surface of the hip joint has to go below the top of the knee.
Now we have the deadlift machine, Mr. Nathan Alexander, in the 120 class, opening up with 310. Now he gets set up, Kathy. There's something that I always wondered. Do you almost not necessarily set yourself up for failure, but set yourself up almost to a disadvantage by opening up so wide in terms of your stance when you're trying to hit depth with some of these squats? Because you see some people like Alexander, he's pretty much at shoulder width as he stands up with his opener at 310. You have some people that set up within the shoulder width, more of a narrow stance, and you have those that open up outside of the shoulders with a wider stance. How does that really affect? I mean, obviously, a lot of it's based, of course, on your anatomy, but when you're open up so wide, does that make you susceptible to sometimes not getting that depth call?
I don't think so, but let me come back to that lift right there. Nathan got 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
So he is on the board. That's the important thing.
He's in the game, ready to roll.
And next up is going to be the Teen Junior Collegiate Phenom, Tristan Nazelrod. 317.5 kilos.
700 pounds.
He just won our collegiate nationals. And he is opening with 700 pounds. 700 pounds.
699 pounds.
700 pounds.
700 pounds.
All right. takes it out. He's got it, and he's opening up with this.
This young man, I actually nicknamed him Man-Child. As he stands up with it, 317.5 with ease. Well done. He wanted me to give a quick shout-out to all his family and friends and, of course, all his new students that he has.
And this was a white light across the board for him, and he's our only junior in the 120 class. So we've got two juniors this afternoon.
Amongst all the old men.
And then we've got two masters lifters.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sorry. We've got three.
Man.
We've got only. No. We've got some masters lifters that are competing, but they didn't enter those masters division. They only entered the open, but they're still holding world records in the masters division.
Exactly.
We'll call them out when they get out here.
Here we got Big Ken Morris, one of my favorite lifters to watch. I call him Powerlifting's Mr. Clean.
He's out of Florida.
Out of Florida. This guy's been grinding, man, and I've been following his progress. This guy's been putting a lot of kgs on the bar.
And he's opening whip with 317 and a half
kilos.
He's
opening up with 700 pounds. Nicely done.
Nicely done. All right, so again, we're in the B flight right now. Well, hold on. That was a no lift for him. To the side referee and the chief referee gave a red light and gave red card. So they gave a red card, and he ended up getting a no lift as a result of that.
Okay.
All right, up next we've got
Derek Dowry. Derek Dowry. He's actually out of north of Austin, out of Texas, former Penn State football player, actually.
No way.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I'm telling you right now, I walked up to him.
We brought him over to the powerlifting dark side,
I'm telling you, this is a mountain of meat, ladies and gentlemen. He is not a small guy. The thing is, the guy came by himself. He came by himself.
Absolutely no support group, no coaching group or anything else like that?
You know what?
That's absolutely fantastic.
I put him with some people.
So he's opening up with 320 kilos, 705
I'm being
pounds.
Honest. Yes. And again, anybody that says the big boys and the big girls cannot get down, there's some depth for you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, they are showing you how it's done. Okay, let me just say that they are putting on a squat clinic.
I'm telling you. Now,
this is a squat clinic.
Putting on a squat clinic. Here comes the living legend, Mr. Anthony Harris. Tony Harris opening up with 330 kg. Now, I want you guys to think about this. Anthony Harris, he's not old, but he's not young.
He's opening at 330 kilos, 727 pounds. Now, he's entered in the open, but Anthony Harris is he's 54 years old. He is the oldest competitor in the Prime Time Open. There's only been one other master, David Ricks.
Yes.
Who competed earlier.
A couple days ago with me.
And he was a Masters 3, but Tony Harris, a Masters 2 lifter, competing in the Prime Time, and that was of the 120s. We only chose 7 out of the 74 120s that entered. Only the top 10%, only 7. So Tony, a Masters 2 lifter, entered the Open, and he's lifting in the Prime Time.
Hey, and fun fact, just 3 years ago, 3 years ago, he was the world record holder in the squat. And, of course, the only other man to be the world record holder in the 120 category as he goes to 2-1 in the squat world record holder was Diz Tornelius, who's coming up a little bit later. So
this is true. They went back and forth. Now, Tony Harris, Anthony Harris out of Hawaii owns the across the board the world record Masters 2 records.
All the records. He owns them all.
All of them. He's also in the Army.
Yeah. He's Army man.
He is. He's also an administrator for USA Powerlifting. He is the Hawaii State Chair. So he gives back as a referee, a state chair, an athlete, and he's serving our military
Morris
with our country.
337.5.
He's opening up at 337.5, 744.
744.
Now I got to tell you, did you blink? Did it happen?
I'm telling you, 2-1.
Okay, and the one side referee gave a red card. Now I got to tell you, right now,
So we have Jared Martin coming up. Oh, Jared Martin. This kid can squat, man. He can squat.
He's opening up with 345, 760 pounds.
760 pounds.
And he's lifting in the 120 kilo class. Not 120 plus, 120.
And I'm pretty sure they may have mixed up on his rack. I believe he's an N. He likes to go in with his, but I think when he walked out, the racks were set. They were set out. So he had him go in a little bit.
And
now,
so
if Jared looks a little bit different, it looked like he added a little bit of facial hair to the repertoire since we last saw him last year. Now, while the face may be different, I'm pretty sure the squat's the same. A lot of power out of the bottom of this guy.
So he's opening again, 345 kilos, 760 pounds in the 120 class.
Now, as you notice with
Three
Jared,
white lights.
With Jared, he takes a very, very controlled descent into the hole. And it's a small pop of explosion out of the bottom. Well done.
There he is.
Now, multi-time world record holder, multi-time world champion, Dennis Cornelius. Now, if you look at this man when he walks around the corner, he's going to look a little bit leaner than we're used to seeing him. The guy, he's actually been picking up MMA, been doing a lot of grappling, a lot of rolling. And so he came in a lot lighter than he normally comes in, didn't have to do much of a cut. So we've seen a lighter and honestly stealthier looking Dennis Cornelius. Like I said, the body may change, but the strength is always going to be the same. Dennis Cornelius, who just said, honestly, I'm just glad to be back. We'll see how happy he is to be back as he steps it up, gets set up.
He's
and
opening.
Stands up with it. 360 keys.
794 pounds.
Should call it 360 E's. Didn't look like much to him. Good job, bud. So like I said, Dennis looks a little bit leaner than normal because he has been. He's picked up a little bit jiu-jitsu's been doing a lot of rolling and everything. So again, a lot of these guys, they're not just a bunch of lifters. They are actual athletes that do a lot of other stuff aside from just picking the stuff up and putting it back down. Now, that being said, we have Trevor Thomas Jr. coming around the corner. Men's Open 120 plus. Opened up with 365.
805. 805.
Country muscle, country strong here. Now, he wanted me to let people know he does it all by feel. He doesn't have any formal programming. Everything he does is by feel.
They call that the instinctive training method, I guess. You know, there's a lot of
and
people
listen,
that also.
For some people it works. Obviously, with that opener of that 365, it looks like it's working for him.
No. He did not get depth on that. So the two side referees said they would like to see it a little bit deeper.
And the thing is, it doesn't look like the weight's a problem. So he may have to dunk that just a little bit deeper just to make sure that, appease the judges. Now.
All right. We're coming up.
Now, coming around the corner, we have opening up at 377.5. We have Ray Williams. Obviously, if you ever look at the crowd, if people start getting on their feet, obviously they know the monster's coming.
Yes, definitely. But Ray is opening very conservative. Very conservative. He's opening it. And for those of you that are used to hearing him that he has squatted 1,000 pounds, he's opening conservative. And when I say conservative, it's 832 pounds.
And we're used to seeing him open up 900 plus. But you know what? Ray's got something to prove. We've been talking a lot over the last couple weeks, man, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. I think you guys are in for a treat. Stronger, wiser, more complete Ray Williams coming up.
Ray's had a few life changes since his Worlds in Sweden. He got married. He and his wife are expecting their baby.
Nice little baby girl.
And here we go. Everybody just hold your breath.
Blows out the soup, breaks at the hips, stands up quick. There we go.
803
and the judges say 3 white lights.
All right, Ray is on the board.
All right, now we're ready to roll.
All right, everybody.
Awesome. Now I do believe we're going back to the top of the lineup.
We're going back to the top.
We have Jason Mike following up his opener of 272.5 with 295. And Jason Mike, he characteristically starts off pretty light to make sure that he gets in the game, and then he'll have a pretty solid jump into his second attempt. So this is pretty much within his game plan, within his game character. So he should be coming around the corner.
And just to give you an idea of the level of squatting that Jason does, he's actually the Masters one. He is a Masters lifter. Jason he's 43 years old, 42 years old. He owns the world record in the Masters 1 squat.
And for a while there, he owned the world record in the open bench.
And he owns it still in the
M1.
In the M1. He's shaking his head going, that was too easy.
So judges say 3 white.
That was a good lift at 295. All right, we're going up to Ryan Stills again.
Ryan Stills.
Out of Oregon.
Best beard in the business. He's going to hit him with the shark. Walks on up. There he goes. If you get a chance, if the camera stays on it long enough, when you see him, he'll be lined up. He'll have the shark fin right in front of the face. Boom. Makes a beeline for that rack, and it's go time. Especially often watch this guy get fired up when it comes time for deadlifts. So he steps it out, squares up, gets set with 302.5.
This is Gino's favorite number.
Stands on up with it. There we go.
There we go.
See what the judges say as he racks it. Judges say 3 white
lights.
They're right.
That's the way to go with that.
Nice big breath. It's awesome to watch Ryan Stills because if you ever really want a really good example of how to brace the body, how to actually brace the chest cavity, brace the rest of the body,
and push against that belt.
Push against that belt. He gives you a prime example of what to do. Gets the biggest breath you possibly can, suck all the air out of the room, push it down into that belt, use that to support the body that's already supporting itself and actually get a little bit extra up under you as you drop that bad boy down and stand right back up.
Almost like reinforcing that steel belted tire that you're wearing around your belly.
Now we got 312.5.
And this is Trey Robertson,
who opens up. He definitely dropped that down a little bit lower than the last time. We'll see what the judges think. We're still 2-1. No, they still need to see a little bit more out of them.
They want to see a little bit deeper. So the 2 side referees still want to see more depth. The chief referee said okay.
Now again, like we had talked about before, Kathy, I'd asked you that question. Do you feel that when you open up so wide, in terms of your feet placement, does that put you in a position to where sometimes you might not be able to get the depth that you need?
I think you got to look at the way the leg is built. Mm-hmm. You know, some of the good deadlifters, their thigh is really long, and then they've got that short leg. So for like myself, I had to move my foot position out because if I had a narrow stance, my knees went forward.
True.
And then I did an amazing clam squat, which was not really a good way to do it.
Sometimes you got to find what works for you.
So I had to widen it out so I could push the knees out and keep the shins upright and get my hips down.
Got to make those adjustments to make sure that you accommodate for what the body allows you to have. Now, Ken Morris taking a second stab at 700 pounds.
He stayed the same, whereas before Trey Robertson actually bumped up by 5 kilos.
Now,
and he was successful.
Very successful with that 700.
He was successful at 317.5. So he's on the board.
Awesome. Lost a little bit of tightness in the hole. Saw the elbows kind of flare back, but obviously Ken's a vet. He's no rookie with this, so he'll make that correction to make sure that he stays upright the next time around. Then we got CJ coming around the corner.
Out of Ohio.
Mids 120. Now, he took a nice chunk and moved up to 320 from his 302.5 opener.
And this is 705.
705.
CJ is extremely well known in the state of Ohio for being an outstanding lifter. He's in the open 120 class. And again, we only took 7 out of the 74 to come to this. Now, he was not able to come back up fully to that, so all the spotters and loaders stepped in for his safety.
Just a little bit of a roll as he started standing up. Saw the elbows kind of flare and really start just driving backwards rather than down, obviously forcing that chest cavity to kind of go forward. And, of course, you lose a lot of steam when that happens. You definitely don't want the body to fold in that manner because sometimes you will lose a lot of that steam that you tried to create standing up.
All right. Nathan Alexander, which is what generated that question about that wide stance.
Yes, ma'am.
You know,
so his setup, as you can see, you know, he's right at shoulder width, and obviously he's a longer build lifter. As he takes a 10 kg jump to 320,
and that's 705.
Stands up with it, but
was
again,
not able to finish it out.
That middle point.
Was not able to finish it out.
Looks like he's favoring that right knee a little bit.
I'm just looking at the openers right now, and it looks like Nathan has got the highest deadlift opener for the entire afternoon for all of B flight. You know, so we'll just wait and see where it goes for that.
Like, hopefully the knee doesn't hinder him from really putting on a show with this pull.
Exactly.
Now we have Tristan coming up, and again, like we talked about, he's a young guy. Took a nice little chunk in terms of a jump from 317.5 to 330.
Which is 727.
727, so he opens up with 7, takes a 27-pound jump to 330 kg. Very methodical in his setup. Steps it back, gets squared up.
Tristan's out of the state of Maryland, and like I said, he just won the Collegiate Nationals, where again we had 1,000 lifters.
I'm telling you.
330 kilos.
Judges say they're good with it, so if they're good with it, I'm good with it.
And again, he's our junior in the 120 class.
And he's holding his own. He is holding his own.
He is. Derek Dowry.
The Meat Mountain Dowry coming around the corner. Opened with 320, takes a 15 kg jump to 335. Now, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see him with his opener, but that opener honestly, it looked like a warm-up.
Well, let me tell you, his previous best, 330.
Man.
What did he call for on that bar? 335. So this has the potential for setting a new standard for himself. Now, I'm not going to say anything more because I'm superstitious, and I'm superstitious. Obviously, me sitting back here on a microphone is going to make all the difference in his lift. But
you never know. You never know.
I'm not going to say anything, but his previous personal record was 330.
So we're going to see how he treats this 335. Nice big breath. Hits that depth. He stands up with it.
Okay, I think waiting for those 3 white lights to show up, and
let's talk about how disrespectful. Let's talk about how disrespectful he was to that 335 kg. Now, at this point,
and you said he came by himself.
He came by himself. I'll tell you what, you keep squatting like that, bad boy, you're not going to leave alone. Now, that being said.
It's like I've got a whole bunch of new friends I've never even met before.
I am telling you right now, that was wonderful to watch. That was absolutely wonderful to watch.
And he has a new personal best record by 5 kilos on his second attempt.
And you always feel good. You always feel good when you get a nice personal best, especially on that second attempt, because then after that, you're playing with house money. So anything you do after that, as long as you get it, it's just you're adding on to the joy that you just added with that PB. Now, talking about joy, here's one of the most fun guys in powerlifting, to be honest. Anthony Harris taking a nice little 17.5 jump from 330 to 347.5.
The world record champion, multi-time world record champion, and then was here helping to coach.
He was coaching, handling people that didn't have people to handle him, refereeing. Anything needs to be done, this guy will do it.
347.5 kilos, 766 pounds.
Looks like he kind of dunked down a little bit, maybe tweaked the knee just a little bit on that one.
And so whenever you get a no lift, but the yellow card, when you see that situation, the referees give a yellow card whenever the lifter is not able to finish the lift.
Okay.
So that's the standard across the board for the referees. So if you see the yellow, it's usually because they weren't able to successfully finish the lift.
Awesome.
Now, if they stand up, they're able to finish the lift, but then you see the red card or the blue card, then it means that they completed the lift, but they didn't complete it to the technical standards.
Perfect.
And the referees are saying this is the reason why via these colored cards. On the platform,
we have Zach Morris.
Whitney's Strength and Performance.
Oh, CT, he's got a lot of lifters that's been lifting over this nationals, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's being
this
one
is
of them.
350 kilos.
Ah, man.
771.
Listen, it really looked like that 350. It looked like he was going to stand up with it. Very seldom do you see a lifter stand that high up with it. He looked like he
asked for a little bit of help.
Yeah. He looked like he was a couple away from standing up with it. Now we got Jared Martin coming up. And again, Jared Martin.
He's one of your favorites.
He can move that weight. He can move that weight.
Let's be honest, LS. Everybody's your favorite.
I don't have too many people that aren't my favorite, to be honest with you. I love the people in the sport. I love the sport. But I've always been a fan of just how Jared squats.
All right, here he goes. Jared Martin on the platform, 362.5 kilos. Oh, well, let's call it an even 800.
Yeah, I mean, may as well.
He's in the men's 120 class. And, again, there was 74 entries in the 74-kilo class across all the divisions. Yeah. And these were the top seven open entries. Down,
guys,
up,
listen,
like a machine.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how many people can do it because it's almost the judges gave, I believe, 2-1. But if you watch him in his descent, he drops it down, and it just stands up with it. There's no rebound out of the bottom. He's no using no stretch reflex or anything like that. It's just brute strength out of the bottom. And I mean, for me, that's a very unique squat because you don't see a lot of squatters that squat like, especially with such a high squat as Jared has. Mm-hmm. It's almost, it literally is almost like it's almost a low-key pause right before he stands up. Like there's no bounce or anything like that.
What, you mean he's saying here, I'm here, take pictures?
Pretty much.
Almost, yeah.
Pretty much. I'm going to stay just long enough the judges don't give me any type of card, and I'm going to stand up with it.
You betcha.
Jared Martin, my friend, you are very, very impressive. Now, speaking of which, we have Trevor Thomas Jr. coming up to retake 365. Again, I say impressive because 365 on anyone's back is a very, very impressive number. Now, the judges want to see a little bit more of him, I believe, in terms of depth. So we're hoping that, I mean, obviously, if you're going to retake that weight, you're going to retake that weight to make sure that you do what you need to do the first time. So let's go ahead and knock it out. Let's get on the board and let's get into this meet.
Exactly.
So, Mr. Country Strong himself, Country Muscle, coming up here. Nice high bar setup.
Trevor is out of Georgia.
Out of Georgia.
There's a lot of strong lifting coming out of Georgia.
And it moves fast, but again,
365. Let's see what the judges say. All white lights.
White this time. Okay, now, again, he's out of Savannah, Georgia. He wants to give a quick little shout-out to Savannah, Georgia, and Hawaii. He's an Army guy as well. A lot of Army people. A lot of military.
Well, we've got Fort Benning, Georgia. Mm-hmm. We've got Fort Gordon, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And both of them are big military bases right there. Mm-hmm. Dennis Cornelius.
Now we got Dennis Cornelius.
There you go. You can talk about him there.
Oh, man. What can't be said about Dennis Cornelius? The guy owns all the records. He can do it on any side of it. Doesn't matter. 375 kg. At this rate, if he moves it like 360 moves, would you expect to see 400? Possibly. But again, it depends on how this moves. Is he going to take a jump like that? We don't know. A lot of people were expecting to see him maybe squat 400 today. But I don't know. He feels like
his personal best ever is 410.
410. But again, that was a juicier dentist in those days. He was a little bit bigger, having to cut down. He didn't really have to cut down. He just walks around at that around like 264 to 266.
All right, he just buried 375, 826.
826. So,
and 3 white lights.
Will we see 400 out of him? We'll see.
Now, you can change your opening squat, your opening bench, your opening deadlift, and your third deadlift twice. So once you turn in your third squat and your second squat, second and third bench, it's locked in stone. It's written into stone.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's like God gave it to you on the tablets.
Yes, ma'am.
So whatever he chooses, he's going to be very selective about what number he puts in, because it's going to make a difference.
Exactly. Now, speaking of numbers, we have the number 400. As in 400 kilograms, the second attempt from Mr. Ray Williams.
This is 881 pounds.
And as Ray gets set up, guys, he wanted me to let you know, you better go over to Rogue, get his all-gas shirt. He wanted me to tell you that, so just let you know that. I don't want to be held accountable, nor do I want to be accosted by Ray Williams for not telling you guys to go get that shirt. I would hate to have to knock the big fella out. That being said, he gets set up. He blows out the soup in Ray Williams fashion. Big breath, breaks, hits that depth, stands up with a quickness, locks out. Judges say 2-1.
2-1
in favor of Mr. Ray Williams.
All right. All the second attempts are completed now. We are moving into third attempts.
Now, here's something I don't know if you guys maybe paid attention to from Ray's first squat to this second squat. You saw he hiked up the legs on his singlet, maybe to show the judges that I am hitting depth, and make sure that there's no, to be honest with you, that there's no mixed message in terms of am I hitting depth or not, because that's sometimes been an issue with judgment. Ray is he hitting depth or not? So I think he hiked up the legs a little bit, so the thigh, so you see the crease of that thigh, see where that crease is going, and so the judges have a more of a clear view to make sure that he is hitting depth or not.
They definitely can do that. All right, up on the platform, Ryan Stills. He's going to 312.
312, just a shade under 700, getting closer and closer. Best beard in the business, I'll say it every single time. Steps it out. It's nice and square. Nice little 10 kg jump from his last one. Big breath, nice brace against that belt. Drives out the bottom. Well done. Now, if you pay attention to Ryan, again, I like to use Ryan Stills as an example because you see no wasted motion, even down to the feet. He presses through the feet, through the floor, stands up through it. You don't see any unneeded movement in terms of feet. A lot of lifters, if you notice, you might have all the strength in the world, but you might be pressing off of stilts and just teeter-tottering, and you're losing a lot of power out of that bottom, and a lot of it comes from the stems. If you're not deeply rooted, you can't stand up out of those feet. You're not be able to get that power out of the bottom to stand up.
And the thing I noticed was Ryan's chest stayed high, but right now we're going to talk about Trey Robertson on the platform right now, going for his third attempt at 312.5. He took a 5 kilo increase from first to second, was not successful with either one, and this time he is on the board.
And you know what? Here's the thing, and I'm going to give him credit because he really took his time with this one in comparison to the previous two. He took his time getting to the bottom to show the judges I am hitting depth. The judges were able to see that, and honestly, it just takes almost just take a little bit more time getting down to the bottom. Because believe it or not, if you have the power to bounce out of the bottom, you have that same power to go down to the bottom and stand up with it.
At the same time, you still got to make depth.
You got to make depth.
You know, so whether or not you're giving him time to look at it, if you did, you did. If you didn't, you didn't. And that's one thing that's the lifter's responsibility to adjust. You've got to get your hips down.
Right there, that's a vet move right there. If it means you got to slow it down in order to hit that depth a little bit deeper so the judges can see that you're hitting depth, and so you know what? You got to do what you got to do.
You bet. And he did it.
Congrats, my friend. You're in the meet
Jason
now.
Mike on the platform.
With 700 pounds.
317.5 kilos.
2-1.
2-1. He got 3 successful squats in. While we're watching that replay, I want to give a real quick shout out the sponsors who helped to make the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
For sure.
It just would not be possible without our presenting sponsors of SBD and Aplift. Rogue provided the platforms, the bars, the plates. I mean, that was so crucial. We've got 5 competition platforms, and we had, I don't know, there had to be at least 9. At least 9 or more warm-up platforms. But I think it was more like 12.
Yeah.
You know, Renaissance Periodization, if you need any help whatsoever with programming your meals, they're the ones to do it. We'll come back to our sponsors in a minute.
CJ.
For now, CJ is on the platform.
320.
Now, he missed this on his second.
He missed it on his second. He missed it on the third.
But he does walk away with a successful
opener, so
a successful 310. So, I'm sorry, 302.5. He's in the competition. That's the most important thing. You don't want to have red on those boxes across the board. So, again, back to our sponsors. Long time USA Powerlifting sponsor, Titan Support Systems out of Galveston, Texas. Corpus Christi. Pete Alaniz and Company. Start Performance, the licensed massage therapist who's been helping to support all of our athletes. Mark Bell Slingshot is one of our major sponsors here. We've also got A7 Bar Grip, and they are just their clothing, their equipment, their products are just flying off the shelves.
I'm telling you, they really are. So we have Nathan Alexander.
$320 kilos.
Now, again, remember that Nathan, he may have tweaked his knee a little bit on that last squat, so he may just be pulling a classy move and timing out, giving his fellow competitors a chance to kind of catch their breath. Looks like he timed out. Again, for a lot of you guys, a lot of times if you are injured, you want to give your fellow competitors a chance to get a breather because, again, the bigger you are, sometimes you need a little bit more breath. And sometimes you might pull a classic move like that. You might time out just so your fellow lifters can kind of catch a breather. So we have next up, we have Ken Morris. Now, we had talked about before, he had trouble with the first. He definitely got his second, so he took a 10 kg jump. So he's going 327.5. He wanted me to give a special shout out to his grandma, to Annette. We know she's watching, so he wanted to make sure that you know that he loves you. That being said, Ken had a few goals. He wants to try to total 2,000. He wants to try to hit this 804 deadlift, and, of course, he wants to try to finally hit that 500 bench. Now, before we get to those, we got to make sure we knock out this squat real quick. So we have 327.5 coming up here.
This is 722 in the 120-plus open class.
And again, like I said, I've been following Ken's progress over the last few months, man. He's been getting bigger and stronger. So, honestly, I feel like now that he's really in the meat.
And he is one of 7 in this weight class that made it into the prime time. He said, nope, not today.
Smart move. Why struggle with it when you can save that struggle for those final pulls?
Absolutely. So there's a total of 14 lifters in the B flight. There's 7 in the 120s and 7 in the 120 plus, which means there's about close to 15 minutes between each of your attempts. Now for the ladies, though, that's a lot tighter. There's only 9 of them, and and when we roll into bench, it's going to be
even quicker.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to walk off the platform, sit down, and get ready, turn in your attempt, and then time to go again.
So we tend to run into that a lot, especially when you do the Arnold. We've run into that a little bit as a competitor, because that Arnold, it just flies by.
It really does.
It flies by, so you really start almost trying to tell your fellow competitor, hey, man, take your full minute. I need to breathe. Now we have Tristan coming up here, 337.5.
That's 745 pounds, the reigning collegiate champion.
And I'm pretty sure judges say 2-1. They give it. He runs off. He
got it.
He got it.
But, okay, so this is, first of all, with Tristan, that was a new PR by 2.5 kilos. The other thing is the side referee who gave the red light gave a yellow card.
Right.
So there's many different reasons why you could give the yellow card, and because the list is like 7, 8 things, I'm not even going to guess which one it was. You know,
it was one of them, yeah.
There's times when I just simply go, and the yellow card is everything else.
Exactly.
You know.
So now we have Anthony Harris, who's going to take another stab at 347.
The legend.
The living legend, Anthony Harris, Mr. Tony Harris.
Again, he is the world record holder in the Masters 2 division for both the squat and the deadlift. He holds the M2 and M1 totals, and I'll explain why he holds that one as well. Not today.
The thing is, it exploded out of the bottom. Maybe he's just feeling something that we don't know about. You know what I mean? And the thing is, at the end of the day, you as a lifter know your body better than anyone else that's watching or anybody else that's really coaching. You know how your body feels. So if there's something that he feels, you know, that we don't necessarily know about, he's probably smart about it. And you know, it's all about self-preservation, especially if you want to, you know, compete later on in the meet. So you get one good squat in, and it keeps you in the game. It's a very solid squat. Why fight with the other two?
Right.
So,
all right, up next.
Moving on to Derek Dowry. Mr. Man-Meat Derek Dowry, who took a nice jump. We're at 347.5. And again, like we talked about, his previous PR was 330. So now we're playing with house money. So let's play a little bit. Let's have a little bit of fun. So we have 347.5.
It's 766 pounds.
Something he'd probably been eyeing for a little bit.
Now, again, you know, you cannot change that third attempt squat. So once you put it in, it's locked in stone. So he has made the commitment to come out and do it. He's got confidence in his ability to do it, and now he's committing to do it.
Let's go, big boy.
I always wait for the referee signals.
And the referee says,
yes,
3 white.
So,
good stuff, brother.
Derek Dowry has just literally rewritten completely his new personal record.
Powers through that sticking point. That's what I'm talking about, man. That is what I'm talking about.
17.5 kilos, 15 pounds. He is way up there now.
Now we got Zach Morris, who just had a little bit of trouble at the highest when he was honestly at the three-quarter point of his squat, and started to kind of shut it down. He may have felt something that we don't know about. Again, it's like, hey, let me go ahead and shut this down, you know, before I hurt myself. Now he's taking another stab at it at 350 kg.
All right, this is a 771 again.
771 pounds
that he's asked for. And it always, you can always go up.
Exactly.
If you miss a lift, but you can't go back down. You can never go down. So always you can either go the same weight or go up, and it's always just wisest to repeat and make sure you don't do anything silly.
Exactly.
You know, don't be a knucklehead.
No, not at all.
And 3 wide lights.
There you go,
got
buddy.
it. Okay, on top of all that, I got to tell you, Mr. Zach Morris just bumped his personal best on squat by 2.5 kilos.
Good stuff.
I mean, if you're going to bump a personal record, prime time at the USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals is one place to do it.
All right, Jared Martin coming up. Making a move up to 375 kilograms. 375. It's getting thick, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting thick now.
We've only got 4 squats left.
4 squats left.
4 squats left.
So remember what I said about Jared and his squat. You don't see a lot of rebounding out of the bottom. You just see some brute strength. He goes to depth. He stands up with it. Hits him with the Martin wiggle. Steps it out. Squares up.
Knees are locked. Referee's arms are down.
And stands up out of that bad boy. Now we're going to see what the refs say with this one. They say
good
3 white.
lift.
They say 3 white.
So that was 375 kilos. Okay, let me just tell you. He just blew his personal record also out of the water. I mean, that was by 10 kilos. His personal record before was 365. He bumped it up by 10.
Man,
that's an
crazy.
Extra 22 pounds.
Now, here's the crazy thing. I mean, a lot of you guys that maybe you do know, maybe you don't know, but Jared, he actually trains under what many consider the GOAT, powerlifter, Mr. Ed Cohen. So a lot of what Jared's been doing in the past is really been kind of helping him out in terms of doing a lot of volume work and a lot of intensity work. So clearly whatever he's doing is working. If you're bumping PBs by 10 kg, that's awesome. Congratulations, Jared. Now we have Mr. Trevor Thomas Jr.
832 pounds on the bar.
Good Lord.
From Georgia.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. The strength does not seem to be like an issue with him, man. And it almost makes me upset because I really would have liked to see how he would have finished had he not missed that first one. But
and that was a 5 kilo jump. Okay, I got to tell you now. Dennis Cornelius has asked for 387 on the bar, and the only reason that could be odd like that is that's a record.
It's a record.
He's going for the record. Now, one thing I also got to tell you is right now Dennis is 39. He entered the open division.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it in the back.
Next year he turns 40.
He ages into the M1.
He ages into the M1, so he's actually also vying for our M1 World team spot for the 120s.
And this is so crazy because we talked about that in the back because he had asked me, so how is it? I was like, well, this is your year, buddy.
It's already listed on there on our roster.
That's how I found out.
Everybody knew it.
I think it was you that told me.
I watched that stuff.
Kathy,
I watched that
you keep me
stuff.
in the game.
You know?
Ladies and gentlemen, she keeps me true. She keeps me in the game. Now.
I'm here for you. All right.
Oh, that's so funny. It's funny that I recall that. So, we have Dennis Cornelius coming up. Dennis Cornelius, 387 kilograms. He's feeling it, ladies and gentlemen. He's feeling it, and the crowd's feeling it for him.
All right, this is an American Open squat record, 387. He currently holds it at 386.
So why not? Let's just play with house money. Let's play a little bit with it.
He's got 386 that he set just 2 years at the IPF World Championship, right?
Big breath, braces. Stands up, stands up, stands up, stands up, stands up, stands up, locks out.
All right, here we go. Did we get a new American?
Judges say it's a record.
Okay. I don't even want to talk about, okay, we're setting.
I feel bad for those that have to go home on Sunday, that booked their ticket for Sunday to go home, because you're missing out. You're missing out on some quality lifting right now.
Well, I'm sure they looked at the schedule and realized that the prime time was going to be happening now, and then made their decision around the important things. You got to have your priorities.
I'm telling you.
And your priorities are prime time.
Congratulations to Dennis Cornelius. Now,
American record. Dennis Cornelius bumped it up from 386 to 387. That is awesome. All right, our final squat is
Mr. Ray Williams.
Mr. Ray Williams. Now, I got to tell you, Ray, he exploded on the powerlifting community down in Mississippi. We'd never heard of this young man before. And he asked for 900 pounds to be put on the bar. And they said, sir, we can't do that. And he said, well, why not? You got enough weight? And they said, yes, sir, we do. We don't have enough bar.
We don't have enough bar.
If we put all the plates on, we won't. There's not enough bar to put that much weight on.
Mr. Ray Williams, 420 kg.
For real, he is for real.
I am telling you, man.
420 kilos, 925 pounds. And Ray has been very conservative today.
It's very funny conservative. To say that 925 pounds is conservative, but it is. Breaks at the hips.
How about the spotters? I'm telling you, even with Ray helping and with 5 spotters, when you have that much weight going down and going forward at the same time,
you started pitching forward a little bit.
Your primary goal is the safety of the lifter. The safety of the lifter, and that's where putting the bar in the racks and letting the racks catch it.
Let the racks do their job.
Exactly.
Safety racks for the safety of the lifter.
Exactly.
Rather than trying to catch the weight, save the weight, you guide the weight to the safest spot possible to make sure that you keep the lifter safe, which they did. And of course, as a lifter, there's no such thing as bailing. You stick with that bar.
You
help
stay
guide
with it as
down.
much as possible because you've got the best leverage for helping
Exactly.
to move it in that respect.
Exactly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, squats.
There's another spotter save. There's a lot of saves going on. A lot of saves going on by these spotters. Unsung heroes sometimes. Kudos to our spotters and loaders.
After I was the chief referee last night and we had 42 lifters on my platform. It was a marathon. That was like 2 hours of squats, 2 hours of bench, 2 hours of deadlift. And when I added it up, 42 lifters times 3 squats, each lifter came out and only did 3 squats. But my spotters and loaders did 126 squats with them. And they lifted that weight up and put it on the bar. So I brought them out to the audience and I introduced them and I said, y'all, they're the ones that are keeping your training partner, your friends, your loved ones safe. Let's give them a round of applause because they are working hard for every one of them.
Each one of those young men and women out there helping us out. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes, a lot of volunteers.
Absolutely.
A lot of volunteers.
Absolutely. For now, though, squats are over. This is Kathy Marksteiner.
L.S. McLean.
And we're at the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw National Championship in Lombard, Illinois. 1,300-plus lifters. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break, come back in maybe about 8 minutes or so, and then we're going to be starting with the bench press, and it's going to be flying.
Oh, man.
Going to be flying.
We got some treats for you guys.
All righty.
Stick around.
hear this high-speed move, and gonna always make me wanna move. When I hear it in your heart, when I hear it in your sound, I feel flying, but I'm always on the ground. I wanna dance some more. I wanna stay forever on the dance floor. Dance, 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 dance. Feel the music. There it goes again. Dance, 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 dance. Take it right through the night. Lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only the lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the pop, I said, only
today only. Check out the app. Receive your
All right, Heidi Lewis is on the platform from The Ohio State University, graduating, opening up. Again, she is the reigning world champion in the World University Cup. She's on the board. She has made really good attempt selections.
Very solid out of the gate. Easy 100 kg opener. Did he just say she has a degree in quantum physics?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay, so she's got brains and brawn and beauty.
Brawn. I'm telling you.
That's the way we like to have our female athletes.
I'm telling you.
On the platform right now is Sarah Brenner. Down. All right, so in bench press, the athlete has, they call the bar ready. She got 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
So she's on the board. She's on the board with also 100 kilos. That's 220 pounds.
Nice
so
leg drive.
Bench press, the bar is called ready. You have 1 minute from the time that they call the bar ready to get out on the platform, to get on the bench. Head, shoulders, buttocks must be flat on the bench.
Right.
Feet flat on the floor. And you can have as much of an arch or as little of an arch as you want. You take the bar out of the rack with, sometimes with the spotter's help, sometimes not. Right now we're going to watch Alexis.
And she opens up with 102.5. Makes quick work of it.
And that was 225. So she had spotter help to bring the bar out of the rack. They're adjustable racks, so it can be as high up as you want it or as low as you want.
Right.
And the spotter can help you out with it. And you take it out at arm's length. When you have it stable, the 2 side referees drop their hands when they say that, in their opinion, from their perspective and their angle, you're in the position to receive the start command. The chief referee then gives a start command. You bring the bar to your chest.
Right.
When it is visibly motionless, that's the word, visibly motionless, they give the press signal. You push it up in 1 movement. We're going to stop. We're going to watch Erica Murphy open up with 107.5, 237. Everybody's smoking their openers. Smoking their openers. You finish that press. As long as the bar doesn't come back down, you don't lift your head, you don't lift your feet, you don't lift your butt, then typically, if you finish it. Oh, one more thing. Those arms have got to be locked out straight. They can't just be bent.
Now, question, as we get ready to watch Tabitha, as she gets ready to press this 107.5.
Which is 225, or 237.
To the chest.
Here we
go.
Look
at that one. Now, for those, what about those that, that just have that natural build? Like, I mean, there's somebody, we can use let's use a legendary bench presser, Dennis Thierry. Dennis doesn't necessarily have that complete locked out look with his arm. So some people have that they're naturally built with almost a bow in the arms. How does one handle that in terms of with judging? I know you've judged all body types all over the years. So do you pretty much see how the body's built as they? I mean, is it a case-to-case basis, or like how's a judge that? I've always wanted to know.
So the description is that the arms are locked with the elbows straight.
Right.
Right now,
Nicely done with Copper Carter.
She's on the board, and she is at 122.5. Following up at the same weight is going to be Shania Rufus,
Yes.
at 122.5 also. So bench press is going to go a lot faster.
Oh, yeah, it's quick turnover.
Because a lot of lifters have got the same weight on the bar.
So
So we
there's not a
started
lot
off
of weight
with
change.
2 people at 100 kilos.
Exactly.
We've got 2 people at 122.5 kilos.
Which is a sweet deal for the spotters if you don't have to do any weight changes. Even sweeter deal if you don't have to do any rack height changes.
Right. So we're back in bench press at the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals in Lombard, Illinois. Kathy Marksteiner with
L.S. McLean.
Yeah, and we are watching the 84 kilo plus women in prime time on Sunday. And
You just saw Shayna Rufus just press 122.5 kilograms. Made quick work of that. It looked like an opener looks.
all right, up next is going to be Bonica Brown.
Bonica Brown was
She's opening conservative.
very conservative with 142.5. Which, to be honest with you, doesn't matter, man or woman. That's a lot of weight that's on the bar right there.
Absolutely. And so in powerlifting, you're grouped together in weight classes.
Right.
And then you're grouped together in age divisions.
Right.
Because that way, you know, the masters lifters like myself, you're not competing against the 19 and 20-year-olds who are up and coming. But then you've got 3 squats, 3 benches, 3 deadlifts. The best of each one of those is combined together for a total, and then you win in your weight class in your age division.
That total. Quick
Wow.
work. Quick
Oh,
work of
my goodness.
142.5.
So everybody in the prime time is lifting in the open division, which is across every weight class.
Right.
I'm sorry, across every age division,
division,
but it's in one weight class, the 84 plus. Up next is teen phenom, 15-year-old Mahalia Reeves out of Florida.
And I'm almost positive, guys, if you don't know who she is, I'm almost positive at some point in time, if you looked at any sports app or if you looked at any, honestly, sports meme, you may have seen a young woman bench pressing a lot of weight. This is that young woman that was bench pressing a lot of weight.
And she's the heaviest opening attempt.
No, we're usually seeing Bonica Brown be the heaviest opener. In this case, you know, we had to change guard for a quick second there as she makes quick work of 157.5.
347 pounds.
Cheese and rice. If you blinked, you missed that one. I'm sorry for you. So, right now.
Well, here, you know what? We're giving you a replay so you can watch it again.
You got to get a replay and a little slow-mo
Yeah.
action to really watch it.
Don't blink
Now,
again.
We're back at the top of the order with Heidi with a 105.
All right, Heidi's bumped up by 5 kilos.
5 kilos, which as far as bench goes, 5 kilos is a very, very solid. It's a very solid jump.
It is. You know,
Very
I mean,
solid
a
jump.
gain on squat or deadlift, you know, the big numbers,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can get like an extra 10 pounds or an extra 15 and
Right.
you're feeling good. In bench press, heck, after a while, you're happy when you're getting 2 pounds.
Let me tell you, you give me extra 5 pounds, I might kiss you in the mouth. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh,
As
yeah, that was
she
easy.
drives it off the
Oh,
chest
that
with
was
a
easy.
quickness.
That is 105. That was just absolutely, that was 231
Guys,
and just super easy.
It's awesome to watch her bench because her leg drive is so solid and so subtle, but it gives her such a pop off the chest. If you blink, you miss it. But it's such a quick jolt of energy that helps her get that bar off the chest. She just shoots it right up. Now, and if you guys pay close attention, Sarah does a very good job of it as well. But Sarah also has a very good bar path. And by bar path, I mean she doesn't shoot it straight off her chest, straight up in the air. It actually has almost a banana, almost a rainbow up and back.
a modified diagonal.
Well put.
Thank you.
And so,
Thank you very much.
again, you almost cut out the middleman because, again, the shortest point from one point to another is it's straight. So she almost does a straight up and back modified diagonal back to that spotter, holds it, waits for the command, and then she racks it.
And that was a good lift for Sarah. Let me just also say that in.
Yes,
You know,
very
that was
good
105, 231.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're moving up.
Very efficient.
Alexis Walker, 110 kilos, 242.
She goes up 7.5. Well done, well done. Now the thing is, you'll have a lot of lifters, and myself, I've been very, very guilty of saying like, oh, that judge is holding me forever. I won't why he or she won't give me the press call. Again, Kathy had noted and made it just very evident that they look for zero motion after the bar makes contact with the chest. Now, a lot of times you may not think that you have any type of motion. I like to call it wasted motion that's happening between that bar making contact with the chest, but a lot of times you won't get that press call until there's absolutely no movement. So as far as a lot of you benches out there, pay attention to that, especially in your training.
Oh,
Well
that was
done.
smooth for Tabitha.
Very
115,
smooth off the chest.
253. Absolutely, what you're saying is absolutely correct. And there's times when you're so far back in the audience, you don't realize that the bar has been playing patty cake on the chest, and the chief referee is doing their job. They're waiting,
just waiting for it to be
motionless. They're waiting for the lifter to do their job so they can do theirs.
Because I'm telling you right now, they don't want to hold you forever, because the longer you hold that, the more it puts you in harm's way.
We want to give the signal.
I'm telling you.
The referees want to give the signal.
Because most likely there's a 10 out of 10 chance that referee at some point has been a lifter or is a lifter. So, again, you know how it feels to have a lot of weight just stuck on your chest for a little bit. You want to get it off of you, so make it easier on yourself. Get
Here
that
we
motion
go.
still.
Erica Murphy on the platform.
120 kg. Nice drive, nice drive, nice drive.
Okay, that was a new PR for Erica. I don't want to say anything and jinx her. Man, I'm superstitious in that. But that was 120. She smoked it, and it was previously 117.5. And so going back to that, 2 pounds is big. 5 pounds.
Yeah.
It's big.
Any plus, especially a plus on bench, is huge. And I think people have to understand in terms of just how the body develops and how the body gets its gains. Any type of gain that you get with bench is a gain. So we have Copper Carter coming up, moving up from 122.5 to 130 kg.
She's got the start command down to her chest. Quick signal because she did her job.
She did her job.
When you bring it down to your chest solid, the referee can give you a quick signal. 130, and guess what?
Movement.
Tabitha just bumped her previous
PR.
You betcha.
Well done. So we have, was that Shayna Rufus?
Shayna Rufus is up next.
She went up 10 kg from 122.5 to 132.5.
She too is trying to bump her personal record.
This is a nice solid little jump.
It is. This is 292 now for her.
That's
up by 22 kilos.
Stops that motion, gets the call. Gets the second call. Had a little bit of a grind, a small, very subtle grind, but she drove that bad boy up and through the roof.
And you know what it looked like? It looked like she almost pulled that bar to her chest instead of just bringing the bar to her chest. She looked like she pulled it in.
Almost equip style, almost.
Almost a reverse pull-up.
Yeah. So we got Benika Brown coming up. A nice conservative jump. Just 7.5 keys to 150, and it's crazy that you say 7.5 keys a conservative jump, but
especially in the same sentence with Benika Brown's name.
Yeah, it is crazy. She's just one of the greatest, if not the greatest. To be honest, she arguably considered the greatest. Martin instead of grinding with it. Like I said, we said before, she is a little bit beat up from doing 3-string sports. So, again, most likely she'll be back to fight that a little bit.
Okay, the heaviest lifter in the B flight, or in the A flight, the 84 kilo plus women is up next now. Mahalia Reeves, but our 15-year-old phenom out of Florida, she is benching 162.5 kilos. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is 358 pounds.
358 pounds.
Did I mention she's 15 years old?
15 years old.
How many linemen in the NFL do you think were benching 358 when they were 15?
You know what? I can maybe count on 20 fingers and I only have 10. So figure that one out. That being said, we got 162 being lined up and driven up. Smoke show, ladies and gentlemen. The judges say 3 whites. They agree.
Okay.
whites. It means it's right. Let's get it going.
Now, I'm just going to back up here a little bit. The American Open bench record, she tied it on her opener. Now
Right.
she's bumped it up by 5 kilos. I can't wait to see where she
man,
goes
the future is
with
bright.
this record on her third attempt. Now, again, once you submit your third attempt, it's locked in.
Right.
You can't change it.
So we have Miss Sarah Brenner, Miss Sarah Squats, moving up to 107.5.
She's bumping it up by only 2.5 kilos. Now, we're starting third attempt bench. Don't blink. I mean, these 9 lifts are over
They're
quickly.
Over so quickly.
27 benches.
Nice drive. Nice drive. Now, so far, if you're being paying attention to each one of these young women benching, they've all done a really good job about really preventing that flare off the chest. And by flare off the chest, I mean those elbows don't flare past that 70-degree point to maybe a 90-degree because you lose a lot of power.
You mean pulling him up towards the shoulder?
Pull them up back toward the shoulder. So again, the less flare you have, the more you can almost keep those elbows. You'll hear a lot of coaches say tuck, tuck, tuck. The more those elbows say tuck closer to the body, the more you can generate more power off of the chest as you drive it up, and especially if you're trying to use that bar path.
All right, Heidi Lewis is on the
Heidi
platform
drives
right
up
now.
with that
110
110.
kilos, 242 pounds.
She took 5 and another 5 in terms of her jumps, and each one of them proved successful. Good job.
And she is doing outstandingly.
Elated, as she should be. Now,
And she, okay, with Heidi, she tied her personal best
Right.
on squat, but she now bumped up her bench press by 2.5
that's
kilos.
awesome. So we have Alexis Walker trying to finish it up here with 350 performance. We have 102.5 was the first one, 110 was the second one. Now we went up 5 from there to 115.
Okay, you know what that means. That's a 2.5 kilos over the, I'm not going to say it.
We'll wait till she hits it, which she did.
Okay,
Now you can say it.
Now it's a personal record of
That's a
2.5
personal
kilos over.
So we are good to go. The thing is, honestly, it looks like she had some left in the tank with that bad boy. Had a little bit of a flare off the chest, just a little bit, but she was able to kind of regather herself and really drive it back up.
She kept it
Kept it in there.
under control is the big thing.
Tabitha Miller.
Okay, 2.5 kilos up, stopping right there.
I'm telling you, people are doing some good stuff right now. They're doing some really good stuff right
And
now.
bench,
So we're
if you're going to do a 2.5 kilo jump, I mean, bench is
I'm
hard.
telling you.
Fast
Well done.
signal. Fast signal
Oh,
because
man.
she gets the bar to her chest, gets it motionless.
Fast
Once
signal.
it's motionless, that chief referee can give the signal.
And-
That is important. You don't take your time getting it down there. You don't have to stay down there.
Exactly.
And that was a good lift for her. And a 2.5 kilo bench press, personal record.
Erica Murphy going 125 after taking a 5 kilo jump. Now, if you paid attention to her opener was 107.5. She took a jump of jumps to 120.
That was 12.5 kilos, 25 pounds.
And be honest with you, that 120, it moved pretty solid. So we'll see if this 125 moves as solidly as that 120 did.
Well, she's already shattered her personal record
Oh, yeah,
with
without
120.
a doubt. Absolutely
5
shattered
kilos
it.
over. So let's see where it goes from here. Okay, on that one, when we watch on the replay, you'll see that it's playing patty cake on the chest. It's bouncing up and down, not motionless.
So we have Copper Carter coming up here. Again, she went from 122.5 to 130. Now she goes 5 up from that 130. So we'll see how she does. Again, that 130, if you remember from last time, it didn't look too heavy. But again, 5 kilos, especially with bench, 5 kilos can feel like 500 pounds.
5 kilos
5
is
kilos
10
is-
pounds.
is-
And
yeah.
for a woman, to be honest, bench press is not our stronger lifts. We kind of struggle with
Yeah,
it.
I'm telling you, that was actually really
That
good.
was better than her second, I think.
Yeah.
I really do. And you know what? She just bumped her. I mean, totally destroyed
demolished
her.
it.
Yeah.
She gets up, arms wide open, like, what's going on?
Yeah, I
Good
mean, that
stuff.
was she's now
awesome.
got a 10 kilo increase on her personal record.
Then we got Gina Rufus. She's coming with a 137.5. She goes up 5 from her last one. It's got a little bit of time. So I don't know if she got the bars loaded call, if she even heard that she's up next.
All right,
Looks
this
like
is
she did.
137.5 or 303.
Comes out with a little smile on her face. So, you know what? At the end of the day, man, if you're not having fun, man, if you don't have a smile on your face, man, honestly, why are you doing it?
Well,
And
I got to be honest, just coming to the powerlifting and seeing my powerlifting
I'm
family,
telling you,
man,
put a smile on your face.
that gives me a smile right there.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
Nicely
wow. Way to
done.
go. Yes. 3
Look,
wide
she's
lights.
happy. That's what I'm talking about.
3 for 3 on that bench. Yeah.
Here's something I do want to ask you. I mean, because again, you're one of the more experienced judges out of all the judges that are here right now at this.
That means in the broadcast booth, right?
No, I'm talking about pretty much in the world. Let's be honest. Now, that being said, you'll see some lifters as we get ready to watch Benika Brown get set. The feet come up, the feet come back down. What kind of call do you get from the judges if your feet come up? I know if your feet move, obviously you're going to get.
Your feet have to stay flat on the floor. It's just that simple.
It's that simple.
Oh, come on, Benika. Come on.
Ah. She does get credit for her opener of 142.5, though, which is still more than most have done so far.
It is. All right, up next,
Another phenom.
15-year-old Mahalia Reeves out of Florida.
167.
I mean, she just exploded. It's like, where did this child come from? I mean, she's amazing. 167.5 kilos. This is yet another American Open bench record at 15 years old in the 84 kilo plus. So this is 300 and let's just call it 370 because it's 369 and change. Okay,
just a cough, 2 coughs away from 400. Let's be honest.
Well,
demigod status.
Those are some pretty big coughs if we're just that far away from 400.
That's insane when you think about it.
Gets the signal.
Oh, she drives it.
Okay. It slowed down on the way up, but did the referees think that it went back down? That's the big key here.
300.
With bench press, if on the press out, it slows down and stops. That's okay. The bar just cannot go back down. So that's where we have to wait for what the referee's decision is. It's their decision. There's 3 different referees. They're all seated in different angles around the platform, so that gives you 3 different perspectives, all watching the same lift. And they're all responsible for calling what they see.
That's insanity when you think about it. So that was, how much was that? I can't even. That's insane when you think about it. So when you think about it, it's kind of put in perspective. That last bench that she did up, it was a
167 and a half kilos. That was 370 pounds. 370.
Now, put in perspective, that's only a few, more than a few, but only a few kilo away from Jared Martin's opener.
12 and a half. She's 25 pounds behind him. That's on bench press. She's 15. Here we go.
Couple of coughs. Speaking of cough,
180.
He pretty much that right there was, I don't even know what you're doing, Jared Martin. I hope
180, 396. So we were really close to that 400. And I'm starting to lose my voice. I apologize, y'all.
Jared Martin, I'm absolutely mad at you for that one. That wasn't even an opener. That was a second warm-up attempt. You'll be hearing from me soon, sir. Now we have
Jared.
Tony.
I hope you feel the love from LS with all that kind of love like that.
Tony Harris opening up with 185.
All right, this is 407. We're breaking the 400-pound barrier with the men. And again, Tony is our oldest competitor in this flight, in this session today. He is 54 years old.
Quick
Army
work.
veteran, Ohio State chair, blows it up.
Easy work, he makes that one. Now we have 2 men that are now on my hit list because again that looks like a second or third warm up.
Somehow that just doesn't sound really good.
I'm telling you, I'm getting mad at these guys.
Well, no.
Alexander.
You know, look at it a different way. It's inspiring you and motivating you to be like them when you get to be their age.
Well, I'm older than Jared.
Wait. You're older than Jared.
But
aim for Tony.
I'm gonna aim for Tony. Tony picks on me all the time, though. So,
Well-
I gotta get my digs in where I can.
And you're going to have to gain a few pounds to keep up with him, too.
Ooh, I'm telling you, I have to bring my sack lunch for that guy.
Nathan Alexander on the platform.
Now, really interested.
187.5 kilos. 413 start signal to the chest. You can see it move just a little bit.
Such a long build, and he also has more of a narrow grip. So
He's also using blocks, which helps
blocks.
to put the feet up a little bit.
Yeah, so we can get a little bit more drive.
Right. So his feet were actually extended past the bench instead of to the side of the bench. But the most important thing is everybody so far is on the board with a successful bench press.
Exactly.
CJ on the platform, 190, 418.
So we quickly got in the 400s. To the chest, nice pause, presses it off, gets the rag haul.
3 white lights, good one for him.
Next up, we have Tristan. Again, men's open 120. He's open up also with 190 kg.
And he's our junior. He's our junior in the 120.
I'm telling you.
The current collegiate 120 champion. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, we had 1,100 lifters in our collegiate nationals. We had 4 days of 5 platforms every single day.
Every single day. Big
wow.
drive. Really quick.
190. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's nice.
418. Good for him.
Gotta love seeing that. That was quick work.
All right, we're staying at 190. Now, again, bench press moves a lot faster
so much
because
faster, yeah.
we've got people that are taking the same weight. So we've got 4 lifters that are all taking 190.
Exactly.
The spotters and loaders are not changing out the load. All they're doing is moving the racks up or
and
down, and the safeties up or down. And the safeties are required in all IPF and USA Powerlifting Championships.
So we have Ryan Stills here.
190, 418.
Nice, quick work. He makes to that one. Judges give him 3 white lights.
No. The judges don't give anything. You earn your lights. You earn your lights.
You earn those lights.
Because you perform, you execute your lift.
You execute the lifts.
You execute it to the
the
standard,
lights.
or you don't execute it to the standard.
I like that
The
a lot,
referees, their job is simply to say yes or no, you met the standard.
Earn your lights. Earn your lights, folks.
But
you earn the lights.
it's the referees are not giving you anything, and they're not taking anything away from you either.
Even though sometimes it feels like they're taking it away from you.
And I know that. I can't tell you the number of times you're in the gym and you go down and you come up and you go, yeah, that was great. And they're going, and that was a half knee unlock.
Yeah. Ray Williams with an easy 190.
And he was our last lifter at 190. He is opening so conservative today.
Just, you know what? I think
conservative.
I think as far as these openers and everything, I'm thinking you want to get in the game. Get in the game so you can play in the game. So sometimes you open a little light to make sure that you get in the game, and then once you're getting that bad boy, then you can kind of play a little bit.
Absolutely. Every time I'm in a meet, I have 3 very simple goals. One is make weight. Oh God.
I'm telling you.
That's the first one.
That's priority one.
And it's like as soon as you do that, it's like let's celebrate. I have no idea what food I'm going to eat,
but I'm going to eat.
But it's going to taste really good. The second goal is get in the meet, and that means every opener is important.
Has to hit.
Because you can't, if you set a record on your squat and then you don't get in the meet on bench or deadlift,
it's all for nothing.
Exactly. And then the third thing is go for the best you can. Those are very sequential goals for me.
Nice.
Zach Morris on that platform, and that was a good lift, but a 2-to-1 decision at that 215 of 474.
Much like Ray also got a 2-to-1.
Now, he got the yellow card, and with bench press, there is so many things that it could be.
A number of things with that yellow.
It could be the head came up. It could be the butt came up. It could be the feet were not flat, or that they lifted completely, or So that's one of the bad things about the yellow card, but those are the very specific things that are typically seen on bench press.
True story. Now with Ken Morris, remember I had mentioned that he has a goal of getting to his first 500 bench press in competition. Now he opens up with 215.
This is 474.
That was 474. Now in terms of his setup, he set himself up really good to hit 501, which is 227.5. Now if that's the case, then he doesn't have to take a super huge jump as far as getting to that 227.5 because you opened up with 215. So, again, you don't have a lot that you have to do in order to get to that 501. Now, if his second as solid as his first, and I think he's good for that 227.5. So next up we have opened up with the same 215. We have Derek Dowry. Derek the man Dowry. Out of Round Rock. If you notice, his strap just
popped off his wrist, and it did not slow him down. He didn't stop. He didn't slow down. He said, "I'm on the." He said, "I'm strong enough to do this. I don't need that."
That's a big boy.
The other thing is that is excellent concentration and focus.
That's only happened to me one time, and it was at the World Championships in Finland. And it routed me so much because I was like, they're going to take this bench away from me. They're going to take the press away from me. They didn't, thank goodness. They didn't take it away from me.
Okay, so with Derek, that was successful at 215 as well.
So we got Trevor Thomas here. And he is opening up with 225 pounds.
225 kilos, did you mean?
If he moves the way he moved his squat, it's going to look like 225.
Okay, well, right now it's 465 pounds. 225 kilos.
225 kilos here. Re-racks it for a second.
Okay, when they tell them to replace the bar, it's because they're set up wrong. Either their hands are outside of the 81-centimeter ring.
I think it was the left side. It looks like I think it was loose.
Okay, the plates were loose. Yeah, and what they do is they reset, and then they give the lifter the full 1 minute.
Thank goodness for Trevor Thomas making me look smart, saying 225 pounds instead of 225 kg. That thing moved. Good job, brother. Now
he's got your back.
I'm telling you.
We appreciate you.
He was nice to me in the back. So
we appreciate you.
Good stuff. So we have Trey Robertson getting ready to roll up. 230 kg. Was like 507?
507.
507.
Good with math right there.
I've just had to do this weight a lot of time. So
because you are very good at bench press.
I'm a one-trick pony sometimes.
Nuh-uh.
Now
I've been your teammate on world teams. I know that you are. I know you are a talented power lifter, not just a bench presser or a cheer coach.
Hey, look at you, make me feel good about myself. Self-esteem at 100%.
Three white lights for Trey Robertson.
Quick work of that.
Okay, and the big thing is he's on the board with that opener. He had a few struggles with squat.
Yeah, with squats.
Struggles with squats. So we're just going to keep that mojo going.
Dennis Cornelius opening up with 235 kilograms.
Now he holds the open American bench press record. I'm going to be really curious to see if he resets it. But what I can tell you, well, nope. Can't tell you that yet because he's not a master yet.
Not yet.
He's a master next year. Holy wow.
Good stuff.
It's like boom, 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 boom. Like a machine.
I'm telling you. Now, if you ever follow Dennis Cornelius, this is one of the rare times you actually see him with shoes on. This man mostly trains without shoes. Not recommended for some. But I'm telling you right now, the guy just goes out and moves some weight. Now, we had talked about him, about Jesse Mike earlier, about being the former world record holder for the 120-plus class open. The current world record holder for the M1 bench press world record holder. Jason Mike, I mean, there's so many things that can be said about the guy, but one thing you cannot say about him is that he has a weak bench. It's not possible. The guy can throw around some weight. Opens up with 240.
Athletic.
Drives it right off the chest.
All right, that was 530 pounds. And I mean, it's just like,
It's
really?
quick work. And the thing is, guys, the weird thing is, if you're watching it on the live stream, it almost seems like it's almost bouncing off their chest. What's happening is they're coming down with such force, but they're stopping the bar with such quickness, and the judges are giving them that press call so quick. So they're making quick work of it. But clearly, with the bigger athletes, the bigger guys, they tend to control the weight a little bit better than us smaller guys. So I mean, they end up getting that press call a little bit quicker because they do have such a command over the bodies and the weight, in such fast fashion.
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we'd like to really thank you for joining us here today at the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals in Lombard, Illinois. And always, you can never have a show like this without the help and support of all of our sponsors. And we'd like to give a shout out at this time to our presenting sponsors of SBD. And they make some incredible things. They make the singlets, the belts, the knee sleeves, the wrist wraps. Uplift for coaching programming. Rogue, who's helped to sponsor all of our platforms, our bars, and our plates. And we'll come back to our sponsors after we watch
Alexander.
Nathan. Brings that bar to his chest.
Now, what we had talked about before, when we talked about the flare off the chest, now it's one thing you'll notice with Nathan, it really shoots off the chest in the beginning, but as he gets to that halfway point, you notice the elbows start flaring out. They get past that 75-degree point and start hitting close to the 90. Once you get between that 75 and 90, your chances of completing the press begin to decrease exponentially as you're trying to press it to the top, especially when you have long arms like that. Now, the cool thing with Nathan is he's not a rookie. He's very much so a veteran. He's able to make the adjustments needed. He'll come back to battle with that bad boy.
You also see two different hand positions, usually locations on the bar. There's the wide grip, and then there's the more narrow grip.
He has
and
more
the
of a
narrow grip tends to be more tricep oriented.
Yes, ma'am.
And the wide grip tends to be more lat and chest.
Yes, ma'am. Speaking of which, we have Jared Martin. They're showing you exactly what that wide grip looks like as he takes on 192.5 kilos and masters it. Gets those 3 white lights.
And that was 423 pounds. And, yeah, he does have that wider grip as opposed to Nathan with the more narrower grip.
And it's so crazy because it looks like it's that much more narrow because Nathan's such a long athlete. But I'm telling you, the beautiful thing when Nathan gets out to get ready to deadlift, man, that dude can pull. I'll tell you right now, like we say at the gym, he can pull some caskets. That dude can pull. He can pull some caskets. I'm telling you that right now. So we have Anthony Harris lined up here, 195 kg.
Tony Harris, reigning world champion.
I'm telling you, this dude here he's a machine.
Reigning world champion.
I had to give him some guff in the back for those squats. Like you know better than to do that. He's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Now we got CJ Iliff coming up, 197.5.
CJ Iliff out of Ohio. All right, we are in second attempts on bench press, and there's 14 lifters in the B flight.
Yes, ma'am.
There are 7 from the 120 kilo class.
Yes, ma'am.
7 from the 120 plus kilo class. There was a total of 126 lifters entered in both of those classes, and we took the top 7 from each.
Drive.
Here we go. Come on, CJ.
Keep pressing.
Excellent. And the referees say it's a good lift at 197.5.
Now, he
200
really
kilos.
I don't know if you guys are really paying attention. He did a very, very subtle thing in order to correct his flare because he has some flare coming off the chest. As he got to that halfway point, pay close attention. He gets to the halfway point, and rather than allowing that flare to take over the bench, he actually redirected his elbows back toward the wall and was able to save himself and save that bench and drive it up. That's masterful work. Now
Tristan Razelrod on the platform at 200 kilos, 440 pounds.
Drive up, locks out. Good stuff. I'm super
impressed.
I am super impressed with that, man. He saved that flare. That was awesome. Tristan just making light work over here. The man-child.
Okay, our junior, true junior, which is Tristan. He's opening at the same as Ryan Stiles.
And this
Stills. Sorry.
the beard, the greatest beard in powerlifting right now coming up. Just nice and thick. Just nice guy, man. So
And Ryan is an M1.
he's an M1.
42 years old compared to Tristan, who is 23.
23.
20 years apart, basically. Good lift for
telling you.
for Ryan at 200. All right, third person at 200 is going to be Ray Williams. So again, bench press, you don't have as many weight changes. You have a lot of people that choose the same weight, and it goes really, really fast.
And you've heard Kathy say it a couple times that Ray is being very conservative with his attempt selection, which he is, because usually by this time Ray is well into the 500 range. But just right now we're just at 200 kg, which is around 485, yeah. And
it is.
So from there, we'll see Ray bring it down to the chest.
Well, 200 is 440.
440.
440.
Because 220 is 485.
Yes, sir.
Now, so we're not even close to the 500 range, but again, it looks like complete rep work for Ray Williams as he drives it off the chest.
This is sometimes a refocusing opportunity.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I think a lot of times.
Are you saying I'm thinking as brilliantly as you?
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe you've dumbed yourself down just for a little bit. But a lot of times, man, I think people forget that I mean, these guys are all, if they're not world-class athletes, they're on the verge of becoming a world-class type athlete. Either way, they're some of the best in the world, the top 1% of the 1% across the board. So a lot of times I think they forget that these guys have to have points of refocus. He's no exception to that. He has to have points of refocus. This might be, just like you said, a point of refocus for him as we see Zach Morris take a stab at 217.5, get it to the almost a little past the halfway mark, just kind of run out of a little bit of steam.
That 480 was a little heavy than that time.
And now you'll notice, like Kathy had pointed out earlier, he has a it's almost a tweener in terms of his grip, okay? And so he had a lot. It's pretty much tricep heavy, and sometimes the triceps just kind of burn out. They kind of wear out, and while you still have the strength, sometimes you just kind of lose that juice a little bit. So we'll see him come back to battle that. Now, that being said, we had Ken Morse, who went 222.5, which is exactly what I would do if I was trying to chase my first time at 500, meaning you only have to go up 5 from here. We'll see how this goes. Goes to the chest quick, drives off. Let's get a lockout with that right, big dog. Let's get a lockout with it.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Awesome. Now, if you are his coach, I'm assuming that he's going to get the white lights.
He did.
If you are his coach, do you make the call?
I would only go up by 2.5 kilos.
I would only go up 2.5 kilos after seeing that, because
he was struggling to get first one, and as soon as you get that one locked out, now you've overloaded the weight onto the other side, and now it's not only carrying just its own usual. It's not carrying 50%; it's almost carrying 75 or 80% of the load.
And it's hard to come back from that, especially with the turnover going as quickly as it's going right
now.
You don't have time to get that recovery. Now we have Derek, the man Mountain Downery, getting ready to take a stab at 225 himself.
496. And this is a young man who came in here virtually with no help whatsoever, but was just incredibly strong.
Yes.
And he is just putting on a clinic.
Quick work.
He's having a very successful day here at the USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
I walked to the back like, how you doing? He's like, man, I'm having the time of my life.
Oh, that's so awesome.
That's what we do around these parts. So
actually, you know what? I think I'm going to disagree with you a little bit on that. That's not what we do in this kind of parts. Actually, at every USA Powerlifting meet I've ever been to, that's what we have.
Just try to have the greatest time that you can, man.
So I'm going to have to disagree. It's not just here, but every meet I go to, I have fun.
I think that's what it's all about. If you're not doing this to have fun, I mean, like I say all the time, like, if you're not doing this to have fun, why are you doing it in the first place?
Exactly. Who do we have up right now?
We have Mr. Trevor Thomas. 235 is his next attempt.
This is 519. He went up by 10 kilos.
Man. And it's crazy because, he had a little bit of trouble. With his squats. Then he kind of got in the game. Now it looks like he's kind of he's kind of found his place. He's kind of hitting his stride. So that was
He just tied his personal record.
Tied a nice little PB
I'm
here.
excited. I want to see what his third's going to be because it can't be a tie on it now.
It won't be 235.
We're going to be trying for something new.
235, maybe 240.
Okay, this is Mr. Trey Robertson.
240.
This is a 10-kilo increase.
Again, we talked about him. He had a little trouble with his squat with his first couple, but he was able to dial it in for that final. Locks in, goes to chest quick. Drives off the chest. More of a wider set. Like literally almost hitting almost a little bit past 75 in terms of his elbow positioning.
And that was 530 pounds, and he just pressed
But he stays
out.
in the pocket the whole time. You see a little bit of flare with that left.
Yep.
But he drives up and through. Just bulldogs the thing up.
You know, one of the things I just noticed, and I'd never seen it before or appreciated it maybe before, but I'm watching the shoulder, elbow, and hand all basically stay in the same line.
They have to stay
but
in the same line.
as soon as the elbow shifts out of that plane,
Exactly.
that's when they start to struggle.
I'd
never noticed it before.
Yeah, you got to watch the lines.
I feel like I just had an epiphany.
I'm telling you, it's going to make you a stronger bencher now.
All
Be
right.
thinking about it.
All right, Dennis Cornelius on the platform
With
242, 534. And this is
chest.
going to reset the new bench record.
And he made super quick work of that. And here's the thing that that a lot of people don't really know. Like Dennis, much like Benika, he does more than just powerlifting in terms of competition. But he's a little bit banged up, especially that left shoulder. So to see him moving the weight the way he's moving, resetting records even with a banged up shoulder, man, that's something special. So now we have Jason Mike, who's coming up, his second attempt. He's going 250. He's no stranger to this weight. Jason's benched well into 600 pounds. So,
okay, Jason holds the world record, and
Yes,
that
ma'am.
world record became our American record.
yes, ma'am.
And that stands at 281.
281.
So he's not trying for an unofficial world record here. He's just trying to have a really successful bench.
And again, those of you that follow him or kind of been following his journey, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but Jason's actually in the process of actually dropping weight. He may be dropping down a full weight class
Oh, I
very,
did not
very
know.
soon. Yeah, so if you've seen him in the past as opposed to now, he's a lot smaller than he's been in the past. So a lot of times that's going to affect the bench when you're losing weight like that. But again, the human body's it's a crazy machine like that. Sometimes you're able to kind of recover a little bit of that strength once your body gets used to walking around at that weight.
Well, all righty. I look forward to seeing the lean and clean Mr. Jason Mike. 'Cause he's a heck of an athlete, no matter what.
He really is.
Nathan Alexander on the platform,
He
third
actually
attempt.
took a 2.5 jump from his last one. So again, maybe he knows something that we don't know.
Well,
if
this will tie his personal record.
If he doesn't flare, if that thing shoots up, he's able to keep it in, and he's getting it right. He's getting it past the halfway point. It's like he's just running out a little bit of gas.
So it goes up, gets halfway, and then it starts to go back down, and then he stabilizes it.
And again, how you talking about that, the lining, the lineup of the elbows, the wrists, the shoulders. When it comes out of sync, that's when it becomes a little bit more difficult, increasingly difficult, if you will, to really complete that bench press. So that's just something. I mean, this is across the board. Doesn't matter how big or how small your bench is. That's just one thing that ends up happening. If these things start coming out of line, then of course you start losing the proper mechanics to really complete that movement. So kind of pay attention to that, especially with your training, because you're definitely gonna compete how you train. So
Absolutely.
that being said, we have CJ taking his stab at 200.
That's 440 pounds.
Driving.
This is an increase of only 2.5 kilos.
It's going. It's not stopping, and he hits the lockout point.
Okay, wait for the signals. Three
Judges
white
say
lights.
three
Okay.
whites.
I will tell you right now, as a chief referee,
Yes,
there's
ma'am.
times when my hand has been floating up along with that bar, and I'm going, "Come on, you can do it, and it's all in my head. But because the only thing I can really say is, start, press,
Exactly.
rack. But it's a patient referee who lets
I'm telling you.
that lifter continue that hard push out like that.
And that's the hard part. If I were ever that chief referee, for me that's such a hard part, because again you want to take the lifter's safety in consideration at all times.
But the lifter hasn't given up. That's the big thing.
And the thing is, if they don't give up, you can't give up with them. So
exactly.
So we have Jared Martin, who's taking a stab at the exact same weight.
Okay, he's trying for a new personal record.
To the chest. Quick call. Is it off? Is it going? Is it going? Is it going?
Yeah,
Is he locking?
I think he
locks
got it. Whoa, yeah. I think I got it.
Judges
440.
say
New personal
white
record.
lights. Now we got ourselves a new personal best. Good job, brother.
Celebrating with you, man.
I guess I'll leave him alone for now.
Celebrating with you. Really quickly, I wanted to continue our shout out to our sponsors. Renaissance Periodization. We've got several people that are using them for all of their nutrition needs. Titan Support System. Pete Albanese and company has been supporting USA Powerlifting for decades. Stark Performance with the licensed massage therapy network at all of our meets. Mark Bell Slingshot is just an absolute incredible sponsor for us. And A7 Pro Bar Grip.
Anthony Harris takes his stab at 200. Does he finish?
Final 200, he's looking for it. No. And you can see him come back down a little bit. And you know what? You're laughing, but I know that Tony, when he gets up off that platform, he's laughing too.
I know that feeling. I know that. I just had that feeling a couple days ago. You feel it, you feel it, you feel it. You get to that very, very top point, and the gas just goes out. And the thing is, it's a hard part for people to understand, especially with bench press. Bench press is not one of those things where, like, I'm going to power through. When your gas is gone, it's just gone. It's not one of those things where you hit the wall, but rather the wall hits you. So you got to really, you just press and press and press and hope that you get that rack call.
All right, so Tristan
with 202.5.
Okay, so I'm just going to point this out. Tristan and Ryan Stills have literally gone 190, 200, 202.5 on every single bench. I mean, it's first our junior and then our Masters 1.
Not coming off the chest like he wanted it to, so he didn't really want to fight with it.
Nope, so and that was 446, 202.5. All right, so going to be up next is going to be Ryan
Stills.
Same weight. Following along in the junior in the 120.
It almost makes you wonder, do they got a little side bet going? You do. Anything you can do, I can do better. Who knows?
Maybe it's dinner after making weight.
Hey, we bartering food on these sides. Now, we have Ryan Stills coming up with 202.5, taking the same taking a stab at the same weight.
And this is 446.
He's driving. It's going up. Motion doesn't stop. He gets the rack call. We'll see what the judges say.
They liked it. They liked it.
I told him back, like, hey, man, I'm saying some good stuff about you. Don't make me a liar. So good stuff, Ryan. I appreciate you. Not make me a liar. At no point does he stop. He doesn't give up on it. Good job, brother. Now we got Ray Williams going up to 210. Taking some nice conservative jumps here for a man that benches well into the 500s. He's going 210. Race characteristically in the past battled with some shoulder issues.
Well, I think they're done. Yeah. I think they're gone.
And the thing is, it's.
Whoa, okay, hold on. So the one side referee gave a yellow card, and then the chief referee gave the blue card. So after you get the start signal, the bar has to go up. It cannot go down.
Okay.
It cannot go down.
Okay, so a little bit of up-down motion.
It might have been on the chest. Now, I don't know. I'm not the referee that threw the card.
Right.
But I'm saying that when you give the yellow card, it is for very specific things. That you lifted the head, you lifted the buttocks, you lifted your feet. You didn't wait for the signals. Right. That you heaved off of your chest.
It can mean a number of things.
That could be, I think there's like 8 or 9 different things. And then the blue card is the bar went down or you failed to lock out your elbows.
Morris with a shot at 217.5 again. Doesn't quite get it.
Okay.
Now we got Kent Morris going for 225.
And he's trying for 1,000 on his total, is he?
Yeah, he wanted he wanted to get a 2,000-pound total, which I think was like a 907 and a half, I believe, something like that.
Okay, I'm a little kilo challenged on that, so I'll have to pull out the chart.
I think it's 907 and a half, something near that. But I do know he's wanting to get that 500 bench.
All right. He's on the platform now at 225 kilos, 496.
496. So depending on how you look at it, he hits this. You can round it up, call it 5. Drives off the chest. Is he locking it? He's going to lock it. Is he going to lock it? Oh, that right arm didn't want to act right.
And you can see him just shake his head no.
But you know what? He's that much closer to getting that 500 bench. The thing is, he got it locked with the left. This is that right. The right just didn't want to. He didn't want to comply.
I'm just going to take a moment, going back to Ken just now. The spotters and loaders were letting the lifter continue to push out until he told them no, and that was when they stepped in. That's a great team.
I tell you,
that is a great team to
step
back
and let. Give me a chance to fight for this weight, man.
Exactly.
Just give me a chance to fight for this weight.
Exactly.
If I can't get it, then you save my life. But until then, let me ride it till the wheels fall off.
Exactly.
That being said, we have Derek Dowry coming up, going for 235.
Well, Derek is having one heck of a day.
He's driving. He just had a little bit of flair, and honestly, just kind of looks like it shot back just a little bit. He's a little peeved, but he's been doing some good work, man. Gets it to the chest.
That was the first lift
but as soon as he drove, you immediately saw the flare.
Where the elbows came up towards.
Yeah, man. And the hard thing is, it's almost human nature sometimes when you start getting that heavier weight on your body, that flare just almost happens automatically. So it's almost having to fight against human nature. It's almost as if the body's like, oh, man, this is a lot of weight. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? So you want to almost go against that human nature to start that flare. Now we have Trevor Thomas rolling. He's going 242 and a half.
And that's 530. We'll call it 535.
It's 535.
535. 535 is a number they can recognize in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
I think
I don't know that I ever saw it
got
stop
3 white
moving.
lights. That's what I think he got. I think Trevor Thomas Jr. just got 3 white lights for a really good lift.
I'm telling you.
At 535.
535 pounds. That's awesome.
We're going up now.
Dennis Cornelius, he's going 245.
Okay, this is the heaviest the heaviest bench press attempt for a lifter in the 120 class.
And it's Dennis Cornelius, so it's not like you're even surprised. The guy's just he's a man. He's a machine. He's a man machine. Now, this 245, obviously if 242 and a half was any indicator, this 245, I mean, it should be a solid attempt. It should be a very solid attempt. Good liftoff. Super good liftoff. For the chest, nice compact. Little flare off the chest. And he kind of gets out of groove. You kind of saw where it started drifting over toward the forehead. So rather than fight with that, the spotters gave him a chance to fight for it, but at the same time, like they kept the safety in mind. They followed him, stayed alert with him. When they started drifting, they went and then they got it. So again, as a lifter, you just want the chance to fight against that weight a little bit. And then once you say, hey, I don't have it, then you can take it. And I'll be happy but if you take it from me, then we have problems. So again,
don't step in too early.
Yeah, don't step in too early. These spotters are doing a good time.
If they do that, then you get a reattempt and you have to try it again.
And you're gassed because you've been fighting with it, so you never know what you're going to get. So we got Trey Robertson. He's taking his stab at 245. He's been pretty successful with his benches. So we'll see how this works out. Goes to the chest quickly. Drives. If he can finish with that right, which he can't, man, that was close.
So right now, I'd like to just do a real quick shout out. SBD and Aplift are the sponsors of this particular primetime session.
Ma'am.
We see that on the Spotters and Loaders shirts, and we want to say thank you so much, SBD, Aplift, for helping to sponsor USA Powerlifting, especially the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals here in Lombard, Illinois. It's been wonderful to have you guys here with us.
So we shall see what Jason Mike will do right here. He has 255 pounds. Essentially, this guy he's just literally 2 biscuits away from being a 120, to be honest with you. So he's been losing not a ton of weight, but he's been steadily losing weight over the last few months to try to get down to that 120 class. So he goes to the chest pretty quickly, drives and drives. He has a lot of flair coming off the chest, and rather than fighting with it, you want to live to fight another day, especially saving something for the deadlift in case you need that fight. So he goes and shakes them off, allows the spotters to go and save it for him, lets it rack it for him.
Right.
So that is our final bench. Now we have, I believe, deadlifts coming up.
We have deadlifts coming up, but I'd like to kind of just touch base a little bit on some of our, on the subtotals that we've got going on right now. So Erica Meyer, she's got a subtotal of 325,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
she's going to be opening with 165.
Right.
All right, and that gives her a projected total of 490. Then Shania Rufus, am I saying her name right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. It's really important to me to be able to say your name right
Yes.
when we're doing this. Nothing frustrates me more than if I said your name wrong and I didn't get a chance to fix it.
Right.
You know? So for Miss Rufus, I know I'm saying that one right. Okay. Now she has a 345 subtotal, and she's opening her deadlift at 180. So
Right.
that'll give her a forecast 525. Mahala Reeves, she's got a 412, opening at 190 with a forecast total of 602.
Oh, man.
602. Now, Bonica, she's at 400 on her subtotal. She's opening at 215, which gives her projected total of 615. So this 15-year-old is at 602. Bonica's is at 615. And then moving back into the whole kit and caboodle here, we've got Copper Carter has a subtotal of 380. She's opening at 187. Heidi Lewis is at 302. She's opening at 197 and a half. Alexis Walker has a 320 subtotal. She's opening at 205. That's pretty impressive. Bonica, we've already talked about, at 400, 215. Tabitha Miller has a subtotal of 345, and then she is opening at 215, which gives her a projected total of 560. Then we've got Sarah Brenner with our highest opening deadlift. Her subtotal is 352 and a half. She's opening at 232, and that'll give her a 585. So it's anybody's game.
It really is anybody's game.
It is anybody's game here. Let's look at the 120s if I can do this right. Actually, because we've got the 120s and the 120s plus mixed together, it's in lifting order,
Right.
not necessarily what the score sheet is.
Exactly.
So if I've tried to do anything, it wouldn't be really good. But right now, I can definitely say that in the 120s, Dennis Cornelius has got the biggest projected total of 942. He's got the highest subtotal at 629. And then, this is interesting.
I mean, you may as well go ahead and say it. Because the thing is, the people at home, the ones that are watching, they're watching just like we're watching.
Trevor Thomas Jr. He's got a 620 subtotal. Ray has 600, and Trevor Thomas is opening at 302.5. That'll give him a 922.5, which is 7.5 kilos over Ray.
And the big story, if you look at Dennis Cornelius, he is actually projected over both of those young fellas.
Well, Dennis, though, is in the 120s.
I know.
Trevor and Ray are in the 120 pluses.
So
when the deadlift hits the floor.
I'm telling you, that's why they call it the king of all the
lifts. All
lifts.
right, ladies and gentlemen, Kathy Marksteiner.
L.S. McLean.
All right, we're at the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. We're taking a quick break until deadlift. We'll come back.
Take it right through the night. Lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the papa said. Lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the papa said. Lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the papa said. Lonely, low, I said the bees in the pop, the pop, the papa said.
All right, Erica Murphy was our opening deadlift at 165 kilos. That was a good lift, although it was a split decision of 2-1, with the side referee giving a blue card. Now, the blue card on deadlift always means that either the bar was supported or on the thighs, or it went back down sometime during the performance of the lift. So up next, we're going to have Shania Rufus. I swear, girl, I'm going to get your name right. I promise. Now, the important thing is everybody has got a good squat. Everybody's got a good bench press. Now you need at least one good deadlift to have a total.
You got to finish it to get the total.
Absolutely. 180 on the platform, 396, and three white lights.
Well done. Locked in, loaded, stands up with it.
Kathy Marksteiner along with
L.S. McLean
here at the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw National Championship in Lombard, Illinois.
Rolling through these first attempts of deadlift.
For the women 84 kilo class.
We have Copper Carter coming up.
And she's opening at 187.5 kilos. And again, there's only 9 women in the 84 kilo class in the prime time of 84 kilos. There were a total of 81 that entered the 84 kilo plus. Nice one for Copper Carter. We're on the board. Now, just out of curiosity, I was kind of curious. We had 1,300 plus lifters that entered this meet. And I was kind of curious, how did the weight classes break out? And after we have Mahalia Reeves with 190, which is 418. Now that's just a biscuit away from 420.
That's a biscuit away from 420.
And I'm from the South. We like our biscuits.
Tell you. Coming out sumo style.
Now on bench press, you may remember she actually had her hair pulled back because on bench, that's one of the requirements. The referees need to be able to see the head in contact with the bench. Well, that was smooth and easy work, wasn't it?
Look like another warm-up.
418 pounds, that biscuit away from 420. So just really quickly, we've got 81 lifters that entered the 84 kilo plus class. But here's how the numbers really broke down. There were 70 in the women's 72 kilo class. There were 151 women. That was 25% of all the women in the entire meet. The next biggest weight class was the 84s, 19%, 43% in those two weight classes alone.
Quick 197.5 from Heidi Lewis.
And she gets a red card, or she gets a red light, a yellow card from the side referee. Now, on deadlift, it's pretty... That doesn't happen that often. The only time it usually happens is you didn't wait for the chief referee signal to put the bar down.
So we have Alexis Walker here with a 205 opener.
And this is 451 pounds. And this will give her a 525 total. Now on the deadlift, the bar is loaded. The chief referee says the bar is ready. You have 1 minute to come out and pick the bar up at your time.
Right.
You don't wait for a signal to start or anything else like that. You do it in your opportunity. But once you lock it out with your shoulders back, your knees locked straight, the referee gives you the signal down. Now, if you don't get it locked on your shoulders or your knees, you support the bar on your thighs, or the bar goes back down.
Locks out.
And that was a great example of a lockout. Here we go. Sarah Brenner, our American deadlift record holder, up next at 235. This is our heaviest deadlift opener.
So we have Benika Brown coming up first, going 220.
Yeah, that's 485. This will give Benika a 620 total. She bumped up her opener, which you can do. You can change your opening attempt on the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift. And she did. All right.
Now we have Miss Sarah Brenner, Miss Sarah squats. Inspired by her 65-pound bulldog Daisy Doodle. Getting ready to pull.
But Sarah,
do not blink.
The United States is pretty gifted to have a lot of world record holders. One of them is right here on the platform right now. Sarah Brenner holds the world record.
And it's literally that quick. It's literally that quick.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
And that's pretty much how it's done. And the next thing you know, you're right back to the top of the order.
Which would start us off with Erica Murphy. But let's just say that every single lifter got their opening deadlift.
Everyone got their opener.
Everybody's guaranteed a total.
I'm telling you. And the thing is, honestly, just for me, I like seeing green. When you see that green all the way down the attempt sheet, that's good because people are making attempts. Hate to see the red. She moves in with a nice little sumo stance here, attempting 180. Nice easy breath, sits into it. Very patient off the ground, stands up, tries to lean back. Just kind of couldn't control a little bit. Kind of got away from her up front.
That one didn't work too well that time. $190 kilos up.
We got Shania Rufus coming up again after a 10 kg jump. Now she's going up to 190. She made pretty quick work of her with that first opener, so we'll see what she's working with for this next one here. But honestly, if that opener was any indicator of what we're going to see with this second one, it shouldn't pose too much of a problem.
I did a real quick check of how long she's been lifting here with USA Powerlifting. This is her third meet. That's how talented this young lady is.
Lord, you're already prime time. That's
prime time. Mm-hmm.
Stand it up quick.
All right, that matches her personal record. Oh,
a little 2-to-1 action there.
It was, and both of the referees that gave the red light also gave the blue card. And the blue card, again, is supporting the bar on the thighs or downward motion of the bar.
And a lot of that's coming from, as you go to stand up, a lot of times you'll see some lifters that almost have a shrug / curl motion with the biceps as they go to stand up. And to be honest, that's one of the worst things you want to do as you're standing up with it, because you risk the chance of obviously tearing the bicep. You can pop that bad boy.
Or what you'll also see is you'll see them pull it up, and then they'll push their knees forward, and now the bar is definitely sitting on those thighs.
Exactly. Two things you definitely don't want to do.
Mihaela Reeves,
gets out in front of them.
Right.
And you're kind of seeing it happen with a few of these lifters, is especially with this sumo, you go to stand up and that bar kind of drifts forward, the shoulders stay in front of the bar, and if at any point, once that bar is, honestly, the shoulders get in front of the bar, you pull against some additional forces. So it's not going to necessarily prove to be successful once you kind of get out of line like that. You kind of want to keep that bad boy in line.
You want to try and keep that bar underneath the shoulders, not the shoulders in front of the bar. Because as soon as you do that, the hips are going up.
The hips are done.
You know, it's kind of like a seesaw, rocking back and forth. Right now, they're cleaning off the bar. The next lifter is going to be Copper Carter at 2025.
202.5.
All right, that's 446 pounds. She took a pretty significant jump, 15 kilos.
But our opener definitely looked like a warm-up. So we'll see how this looks.
Well,
it's maybe more of an indicator for actual.
If it looked that easy, then that was called a guarantee.
Yeah.
Okay, she worked a little bit more. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to work a little bit more. This is going to be more weight. But that opener was definitely, I'm guaranteeing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm make sure I get a total. Mm-hmm. So we get that knocked out. We have coming up Heidi Lewis. She's moving up to 212.5. Comes around the corner, ready to roll.
She's got a projected total of 500. Now, again, she's our only junior in the women's division. And she is currently in the 3rd place in the junior division, and this would move her into the 2nd with a good lift.
Nice, nice, nice.
Okay, Mihaela's definitely got the Team 1 wrapped up with gold medal, because she's, honestly, there aren't that many in that weight class and age division, but she's got that one. But she is solidly in 2nd place in the 84-plus Open. All right, on the platform, Alexis Walker.
Alexis coming around that corner, ready to roll, going 217.5.
480 pounds. This will give her a 537.5 total. Right now she's working with 525. Trying to bump it up an extra 12.5 kilos. Trying to move from 8th to 6th.
Quick work. If she can get those hips through, get that lock. There, are we going to get the call for that lock or no?
Oh, she did. She got it. She got that down signal. That's that. Just because you get the down signal doesn't mean that you definitely locked out, because when you're standing there struggling, sometimes the referee is going to say
just that lifter safety.
Exactly.
Because things can go black literally in the blink of an eye.
It can. All right, up next we've got Tabitha Miller. I'm sorry, Bonica. Bonica Brown is our next lifter.
Coach used to always say you get a visit from Peter pass out. So you got to make sure you get that thing locked out and get the down call before Peter comes and gives you a visit. You get visited by Peter Passout, it's a wrap for you. So that being said, we got Bonica Brown.
I love her setup, by the way.
So nice and happy.
Got her game face going.
This thing I always appreciate about Bonica, because for me as a sumo puller, I try to use a knurling, but I try to decrease that motion as much as possible. She actually gets wider with her grip, so it's it's almost a hybrid snatch grip. I mean, if you really kind of pay attention to it, it's a little bit of a wider grip. So we have Tabitha Miller, 232.5,
and this was a 17.5 kilo increase.
And we'll see what the judges say.
3 white lights
Three
on
white
that.
lights.
All right, she is solidly in 4th place right now. Sarah Brenner, our world record holder in the deadlift,
Indeed.
84 kilo class. She is in 3rd place. She's got a 587. She's trying to bump it up to 602 and a half.
Getting that bar clean.
So Bonica has just really widened it out. It's 642 and a half, and then it goes to Mihaela at 612, and then Sarah. We'll talk about what her total is after this pull. And remember, deadlift is Sarah's favorite lift.
It's her favorite.
When you own a world record,
You're definitely not afraid of this lift.
you got to fall in love with it.
I'm telling you. Well. There's a reason. There's a reason why she's a world record holder.
All right, 602 and a half. All right, she is now in 2nd place with 602.
Now we are.
Actually, you know what? I got to go back on that. Sarah and Mihaela have the same total.
Right.
Of 602.5, but the difference is body weight. Body weight. And that, when we do that, it goes to the lighter lifter.
Right.
And Sarah is 132 and change, and Mihaela is 147 and change. All right. Final deadlifts. Erica Murphy on the platform. Now she is in 18th place, trying to move up.
Does she get the down call? Does she get it from the judges?
It was.
No.
All 3 referees gave the blue card, indicating there was downward movement or she supported the bar on her thighs. So she finishes up in 18th place. Now, there were not 18 people lifting in this session, so they lifted this morning, and they're actually watching to find out where their placing is. They're waiting for these 9 to finish up so they know where they are.
Rufus going for her final pull of 190.
All right, she's got 525 right now. She's trying to move from 8 to 7. Three white lights. Well done on that. All right, up next, there was no weight change. Again, you can change the 3rd attempt deadlift twice. There's a couple of rules.
Right.
It has to be before the bar is called ready for you. And honestly, it takes a little bit of time for the scoring table to let the referees, so don't wait for the last minute. Just that simple.
So we got Mayla Reeves going for 200 one more time.
All right, she is in 3rd place. And with this pull, it would keep her in 3rd place. So she's got bronze in the open division. 84 plus as a 15-year-old
insane
teenager. And I think she locked that out and then just let that bar down and let it kiss the floor like butter. And she got 3 white lights on it.
Good stuff. That's awesome.
Way to finish out. Oh, right now she's in 2nd place. She's now moved into 2nd.
Yes, ma'am.
Because Sarah Brenner hasn't pulled her 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason why. So when she's in 2nd, but she projected for 3rd. Up next, we've got Copper Carter. And she's in 7th place with a 532. She's trying to bump up to 6th with a 537 and a half. Alrighty, Copper Carter. She's got 207 and a half on the bar, 458 pounds.
Quick work off the core. A lot of force through those feet, through the floor. She stands up. Judges say.
And there was a mixed bag on that. There was two yellow cards, and then a white one. Okay, the red. And then the red one is you didn't lock out.
Right.
And the yellow card is you just didn't complete the lift ever. Okay? All right,
She's
so
almost,
with
she was
Copper.
almost stuck at like a 5/8. She was almost there. Just not
Right.
quite locked all the way through.
Right. She finishes the meet in 7th place
So we have
overall.
Heidi Lewis.
Heidi Lewis is 12th in the open, trying to move all the way up into 8. She's 2nd in the juniors, and again, the juniors lifted earlier today. She's the only junior in this session, and she's trying to move into 1st place with this. All right, not only did Heidi just move into 1st place for the juniors, she also had a 9 for 9 day
Yes, she did.
at the USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
That's crazy.
1,300 lifters, and we've had IPF and national referees on every platform.
So we have Alexis Walker coming up, trying to finish this thing 3 for 3. 225 kilograms on the bar. She's been successful with her previous 2, trying to finish this thing up.
This is 496 pounds.
Just a shade under 500.
She's currently in 5th, and even with this pull, it'll keep her in 5th. So she has it locked in. She's got 5th place locked in.
On the stand, she's trying to finish. So close, so close.
All right, we're bumping up by 10 kilos to 235 kilos. I'm sorry, 235 kilos, 518 pounds.
Tabitha Miller.
She's currently in 4th. She will be in 4th with this pull.
Judge say 2-1. They give it to her. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So we have Nika Brown trying to finish things up with 242.5 kilograms.
I'm going to go back really quickly. Tabitha Miller, congratulate her. She went 9 for 9.
That's awesome. Anytime you
9
go 9
for 9,
man, that's a lovely thing. Lovely
Absolutely.
thing.
That makes every lift count.
I'm telling you.
This is okay. This is Bonica. She's asked for 258.
258 now. So
258. Okay, so Sarah Brenner's asked for 260. So let's just watch this. This is going to be interesting. We're trying for some records. These open records. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the current deadlift record stands at 257.5. And what Bonica has chosen to do is to bump it. By that we mean add half a kilo. That's the minimum amount that you can move a record up. It has to be an American record or a world record, the unofficial world record. But she's going for the American record of 258, trying to take it away from Sarah Brenner, who currently holds the world and American record.
None doing.
But Bonica finishes with a 630 total and solidly in 1st place. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Brenner is up next. Now, again, she is already currently the world record holder for the deadlift at 257.5. She's asked for an even 260. She's not trying to chip it. She's trying to set it. 260, which is 573 pounds.
Why chip it when you can destroy it? Let's get it going,
This is an
Sarah.
unofficial world record.
She stands up with it. With room left to spare.
Wait for the referee's official lights to make it official.
Miss Sarah squats. Well done, ma'am.
So really quickly, Sarah's going to finish up in 2nd place with a new unofficial world record. And it's unofficial because under world rules, under the IPF rules, world records can only be set at either regional, as in the North American Regional Championship, the Eastern Europe or the European Regional Championship, Asian, African, like that, or at World Championships. They cannot be set at national championships anymore.
So we got CJ opening up with 280 here. Quick work of that opener there. 280 kilograms.
And that's exactly what we want. We want to see them guarantee their opener. Guarantee that opener.
Next up, we have Trey Robertson opening up 5 kilograms more at 295.
They're opening conservative, much like the ladies. Oh, you know what? I want to do a shout out.
Big man throws that around. Good stuff, buddy.
Way to go. 3 wide lights for Trey on the board. Want to give another shout out to somebody else who did a 9-for-9 day. We had Heidi Lewis, Tabitha Miller, and Sarah Brenner.
Of course.
3 ladies.
3 ladies.
9-for-9 days.
Good stuff. All right, now next up, we have attempting 295, Zach Morris, another one of the Whitney Strength and Performance buddies. Good stuff. Good opener. Good opener.
All right, Jason Mike is going to be the next lifter at 300 kilos.
Opening up with 300 keys.
661
I'm interested
pounds.
to see if he's going to go up and grab it or if he's going to do his jump pull. So sometimes he kind of does a little jump pull. So we'll see if he actually sets up, grabs individual and goes, or if he just jumps into it. Oh, jump it is.
And 3 white lights it is.
Yes, ma'am.
That was a very good opening attempt at 300 kilos to 661. 302.5 up next from Mr. Trevor Thomas
Country
Jr.
strong, country muscle.
Mr. Trevor Thomas Jr. He holds every single state record down in the state of Georgia.
I'm telling you. He's built like a tank. He better have them all. Good gosh. 302.5. Small little rolling start. Boom. Stands up with it. Quick to the top. Judges say 3 whites.
3 white lights for him.
That's a big boy. Good Lord.
All right, that was 666 on the bar. Now we're moving up to 672 of 305. And that's going to be for Jared Martin.
305.
Now again, really quickly, ladies and gentlemen, every single lifter got at least 1 squat, got at least 1 bench press. We combine their best squat with their best bench to give them a subtotal, and then the first time they make a deadlift, it now gives them a total. And with that total, then they start getting sorted out in their placings in their weight class. We have the 120 and 120 plus weight classes in the men's afternoon.
Start. Stands up nice
Jared
and quick.
Martin.
That's nice. Very compact, very efficient.
672 with 3 white lights. Another one on the board.
Minimal struggle. Good stuff.
Okay, same weight. Dennis Cornelius. 672. Dennis has got the highest subtotal of the 120s at this time. Here we go. 672 for Dennis. Okay. I would take it personally very helpful if he would pretend it was
at least act
difficult.
like it's heavy.
Yeah. I'm working really hard when I try to do my deadlifts, and he just makes it look like, okay, it's a walk in a park. But now that gives him, as a result of his bench press record, a 934.5 total. Our 120 junior, Tristan Naselrod, is up next at 310 kilos, 683 pounds.
Quick work of that 310.
He is so compact, and he does a narrow stance or conventional stance deadlift, where the hands are outside of the knees and the feet are a little bit closer together. On the platform now, Tony Harris.
Tony Harris, the man, the myth, the legend.
Our Masters 2 lifter, who only entered the open division. I mean, he's an open lifter who just happens to be 54 years old. Wow.
Quick work of that 310. Quick work of that 310.
Three wide lights.
Crazy thing is, I thought that it something looked kind of off at first with Dennis. It wasn't that something looked off. It was that I'm so used to seeing Dennis pull sumo. In this particular case, he's pulling conventional.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if I hadn't said anything, you might not have noticed.
I had no idea until I just started watching.
No, it was Tristan. It was Tristan that I pointed out.
Yeah.
All right.
Dennis
Up
Cornelius.
next is Ray Williams, 315, 315.
315 kg.
690. Let's just call it even 695.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 694.46, whatever. 695 is good enough.
Now the funny thing is, in my head, I'm like, so he's gonna pull it. He's gonna pull it for more than one. Ray making quick work of that 315. Now we got Ryan Stills following Ray up with a 320. I believe that's 705.
Very good.
So Ryan Stills gonna be following up Big Ray.
You must move that weight a lot to know that number that quickly.
I've had to do 320 so many times.
Okay, so Ryan, for a moment there, I thought he had a sumo stance. Nope, another conventional. Super smooth.
Good stuff.
Super
I'm
smooth.
hoping they get him a little bit earlier so you can see his whole windup is awesome. So we have Derek Dowry, who's opened up also with 705.
320. But Ryan was in the 120s.
He was in the 120s.
Derek is in the 120
Clearly
plus.
he's a 120 plus. There ain't nothing about that guy that doesn't say plus. Good Lord, he is a giant human being.
.320 on the bar for Derek Dowry. 705. Up, locking it.
Nice quick work of that. Almost let it get out in front of him a little bit.
All right, up next, Ken Morris. 332.5. This will give him an 872.5 total.
Ken Morris. There he goes, talking that trash to that bar. Come on, big dog, let's get it. Now, we got 332.5 for him. That's a gargantuan man right there. Getting those meat hooks on that bar. Standing up with it. Boom. Now, like we said before, he has goals. He wants to try to get 804. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure 804, it's around 365, I believe. So if we can get, I think he's aiming for that 365 kilo. Based off of that, I mean, and of course the next jump and how that moves.
All right, we've got who's
Nathan
up now?
Alexander
Nathan Alexander, our
with
deadlifting
345.
machine.
This dude is a deadlifting machine.
Absolutely, 760 opening attempt.
Opening
attempt in the 120s.
Gets it where he wants it. Well, you can pull like him. You can be as selective as you want. Don't blink.
Double overhand.
Double
grip.
overhand, hooked it.
Wow,
Stands
that
up
was
with
just
it. Looks like a statue.
guarantee.
And here's the thing, man, that it's so crazy.
That was three whites. All right, everybody's on the board. Everybody's got a total.
Here's the funny thing about Nathan. Right now, he's nursing a hurt knee, and he's still able to pull like this. Crazy thing was, I was like, "Well, are you concerned about your knee?" You know, after squats, he's like, "I'll be honest with you, my opener, I can do that stiff leg deadlift. I can stiff leg deadlift 360 keys. Must be nice."
All right.
Now we are moving on to the
second attempt.
The top of the order, 302 and a half. I believe that's Gino's favorite number.
It is. It is the
Gino's
666. It's the 666. And CJ is currently in the 17th place, trying to move into 12. And again, we had a whole lot of lifters that lifted this morning.
A lot of lifters.
We had 186 lifters that we went through, that we got through through weigh-in.
Same time, there was so many, and they're all big boys.
And the big, we had 72 we had 84 plus women this morning.
Yes, 84 plus women.
And then we had the 120 plus men.
120 plus.
All right. On the platform right now is Trey Robertson. Okay.
305.
And he bumped up by 10 kilos.
Yes, he did.
And he is currently in the 11th place and trying to move up to number 9.
Those are solid.
That's in the open. Now, but for the junior, though, he's locked in on second place.
Oh, yeah.
He's got silver completely locked in.
Yeah, those deadlifts are nice, man. His deadlifts are super, super nice.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
All right.
Good stuff, big boy.
Up next, we've got Zach Morris.
Zach Morris, another one of those Whitney boys.
677.5 pounds, 307.5 kilos. He's currently in the 10th place, and he's trying to move up to 8th.
And he's coming up. He's going beltless. Don't need no belt.
Beltless.
I have a natural belt anyway. We all have a natural belt.
It's called the transverse abdominis, I believe.
Stands up with it. No, I'm not going to fight with that. Maybe the room started spinning a little bit.
Okay, he was not able to completely lock that one out. So it returned to the floor, to the platform. But he is working on 10th place.
Got Trevor Thomas Jr. He made pretty quick work of that 302.5 earlier.
And he jumped up 12.5 kilos, or 25 pounds. And again, he's new to USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
Yes, ma'am.
Owns all the Georgia State records.
Stand it. Did he get
Lock. There you go.
Now the thing that's always interesting is we see what our judges
Three white lights
is these big boys, man. It's sometimes it's really hard to tell if those legs locked out just because they're just big individuals. As a judge, how are you able to really decipher whether or not they're locked out or not? Because for me, for my naked eye, again, that's why I'm not a judge. Are there some characteristics, some keys that you're looking for to make sure that they're locked out? Do you see how almost kind of see how they're locked out in terms of their build as they come up. Like, okay, this is how he's already naturally built when he stands. Or is there any like key indicator that you look for as a judge to make sure that you're, you know?
Tell you what, we'll come back to that after Dennis Cornelius at 317.5.
Well, I mean, you can tell when he locks out.
Exactly.
700
so
pounds.
you have just given your own answer.
But I that's what I'm saying.
You've
so
just
like
given your own answer.
So it's a case by case basis. You have to.
You can
tell. You can tell when he's locked out.
You can tell.
Awesome.
All right, and that was the equivalent of 700 pounds. All right, next up at the same weight is going to be Jason Mike.
Jason Mike rounds the corner again. The little jump start to pull, man. That always catches me for a loop, and it's always fun to watch. It's a skill in itself. Not a lot of people can master this, so to watch him do it, I've tried it a couple times in the gym and almost fall flat on my face. He just
jumps up, reaches down, and grabs it, and there you go with 3 white lights.
Yeah.
That was 700 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. That just jumped right off the floor, basically.
Lord. Jared Martin.
317.5.
322.5.
322.5 is equal to 710 pounds. And this is Jared Martin. And again, what number is he working towards? What's his goal today? Or it's not Jared, it's Zach Morris.
Zach Morris. He's working toward 365. So we'll see how close he gets to that. He wants to get that 804.
Okay.
And Jared getting set up.
He's pushed the bar away, and then he pulls him in closer to him. Drops the hips. Chest high. Pulls the bar with a conventional stance. Waits for the referee. Now he waits for the lights and gets them.
Waits for the referee and the lights. Gets what he wants and drops it back down. Now I believe we have Anthony Harris coming around.
We do, and he bumped up by 15 kilos. And again, Anthony Harris owns Masters 2 world records.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
In fact, in the IPF, if your world record as an older lifter, a Masters 2, is higher than the record for the Masters 1, it actually slides down to the younger group.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he owns Masters 1 records based on what he did as a Masters 2.
Right. Like the little hamstring.
He was reaching back saying that he felt a little uncomfortable on that.
Well, you kind of saw those hips shoot up a little bit, so obviously there'd be a little tension on the hamstrings.
Mm-hmm. Conventional stance.
I'm telling you.
Now he is finishing up in 7th place in the Open. Well, he holds the 7th place in the Open. He's not done yet. He's got his 3rd deadlift to go.
We have Tristan. There's a rod coming up, 330.
And Tristan is in the 4th place in the 120s Open, but 1st place in the 120 Junior. And the junior definition is between the ages of 20 and 23 in USA Powerlifting. 3 white lights for Tristan.
Best part about Tristan, if you watch him, if you ever get a chance to see his wind up, he's got a little shimmy. Get a little shimmy going, then he grabs the bar and then he stands up with it. And I believe we have Derek Dowry.
We do.
Coming up next, 330.
And what part of Texas is he from?
He's from just Round Rock, just north of Austin. Just north of Austin. A recent grad, actually, from Penn State University.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Penn State is going to be the location for our collegiate nationals next year in 2020.
May or may not have played a little bit of football for the Nittany Lions.
He's asking for 330 kilos, which is 727 pounds. He's currently in 5th place, and this will keep him in 5th place in the incredibly competitive 120-plus category.
And I don't know if you noticed, but that was so much faster than his opener. That looked a lot better than his opener.
I think he's getting more comfortable being on the national platform.
Because I'm pretty sure, but I think it's with his 2nd, maybe 3rd meet ever.
Well, I'm just going to say that I think he's getting more comfortable on the national platform.
The bigger the lights, the bigger the stage, and the longer it sometimes takes to get set up. Now,
glad to be here. All right,
I'm
Ryan.
telling you, we got Ryan Stills here.
Oregon State chair. Ryan has entered in both the Open and the Masters 1 division.
Nice hinge. Judges say 2-1 no.
All right, and both of them gave the red card, and the red card is given that when you do not lock out. And the lockout is looking specifically at the shoulders. Are the shoulders back and the knees locked?
The knees look kind of soft. Not super soft, but not enough to convince the judges. Now, Ray Williams getting lined up here after taking a 20 kg jump up to 335 from 315. Had a chance to talk with him and back. Said he definitely didn't have the prep coming into this meet that he wanted, but he's going to take what was out there. That being said, sometimes as a lifter, that's what you do. You're just going to take what's out there.
All right, he's got 738 pounds on this bar right now, 235 kilos.
And if you blinked, you missed it.
And he had 3 white lights. Now, what's interesting is
yes, ma'am.
It says that Ray is in silver place. Silver medal position right now. Trevor Thomas Jr.,
yes, ma'am,
who's lifting ahead of him, is in the first place.
Yes, ma'am.
But Trevor has already turned in his 3rd attempt.
Yes, ma'am.
Request. Ray has not, so we're going to wait and see.
We'll see if they put a little bit of chest once Ray turns his in.
Exactly. Right now, though, Nathan Alexander's on the platform, 347.5 kilos, 766 pounds. He's our heaviest deadlifting second attempt for the 120 class.
Yes, ma'am.
He's currently in 5th place. And the clock is running for him right now.
So Nathan Alexander.
Okay, it looks like
he's his timing. Because I think they're already getting ready for. Looks.
Okay, what they just did was Nathan Alexander did what is called timing out. From the time that the bar is called ready until you get out there and make a bona fide effort to lift the bar off the floor, you have 1 minute. So they called the bar ready. They had it loaded. They called Nathan's name. They said the bar is ready. The 1 minute ran down. It expired. Nathan did not come out, so it is a time out. So he gets no lift on that, but he still has his 3rd attempt. And this is sometimes a strategy lifters use to save energy for that 3rd pull. Right now, Ken Morris is on the platform at 350 kilos, 771 pounds. And 3 white lights for Ken Morris. Okay, so going back to Nathan Alexander really quickly, I said that sometimes it's a strategy of lifters to time out on their 2nd, saving energy for their 3rd.
Right.
Well, Nathan did exactly that because he originally had called for, he opened at 345.
Right.
He called for 347 on his 2nd, timed that one out. He has now asked for 372.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a 25 kilo increase over his 2nd. So he was really deliberately planning,
He's
planning to do that timeout to save that energy for that 3rd.
Which is smart. He's a big puller.
He is indeed.
If you ever have a chance to watch the guy, he's a super big puller. Now we have
Here we go.
CJ Eilif getting ready to pull 307.5.
Right.
It's a 5 kilo jump from what he did previously.
He's got 12th place solidly locked up. This is 677, 678.
Yes, ma'am.
I hate it when it's between 675 and 78. It's 6.
Can we get that lock? Can we get that lock? Okay. Judges say.
Good lift.
Good lift. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good call by his coach. Good job. Now Zach Morris is coming up, taking another stab at 307.5.
All right, currently he's in 10th place. Now because everybody's third attempts are in,
Right.
this would move him to 9th if he's successful. And here we go. Zach Morris on the platform, 307 and a
Remember,
half.
he got it almost to the knees, and he's like, no, I'm not going to fight with it. So maybe he just didn't feel it right there.
This
Maybe
is
he'll feel it on this one.
677.
677.
So he's going to stay in
Not there
10th
today.
place.
It's not there today, but
Right.
definitely be there in the future.
He's going to stay in 10th place. Okay, so Trey Robertson, he's our only junior
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
120 plus. This will, but he's in second place. He's in the
place.
silver medal position. That means that the gold medal performance for the 120 plus
Yes,
juniors lifted this morning and had to sit here and watch to find out where they placed. They're sitting here doing a nail biter,
Probably biting
watching
their
Trey.
nails off. Yeah.
You bet. They don't know where they placed. They only know that was the number they've already completed. Right now, and Trey got 3 white lights.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
means that he is solidly in 8th place in the open division and silver medal in the junior. Dennis Cornelius up next.
So Dennis trying to cap things off for the 322.5 kilogram finish in the deadlift.
This is 710 pounds,
Yes, ma'am.
322.5. This will give him, right now he's currently got 947 kilos for his total. He's trying to bump it up to 952.
Yes, ma'am. Dennis pulling conventional now. Standing up with it, standing up with it. Not
Oh,
off
it
the
just
floor.
slipped right out of his hands. However, he stays in the gold medal position. Tony Harris has asked for 325 for a second time. He's going to come back out and repeat it at 716 pounds.
So we have Tony getting ready to come up. Come around the corner, and remember, if you paid attention to the last one that Tony did, he had a little bit of hamstring issue coming off the ground. So we'll see things a little bit different this time around as we wait for Tony to round the corner here. And it may be an issue where he may just be timing out just to give his fellow competitors a chance to kind of catch a breath. Class move.
He's currently in the seventh place in the open division. However, again, he's 54 years old. He's a Masters 2. He is a Masters 2 lifter, but chose not to enter that division. He's competing head-to-head against everybody.
All right, so it looks like Tony won't be coming out to take that final pull, which is completely understandable,
So waiting for those lights, and it's a no lift. He did do that timeout. They called the bar is ready. 1 minute ran down. So Tony is going to finish in 7th position. The bar stays the same at 325 kilos, 716 pounds for Trevor Thomas Jr. He is currently in the first place position in the 120 plus. He's working on a 930. He has currently a 935 kilo total, trying to bump it up to 945.
So close. So close.
And again, Trevor Thomas Jr. holds all the Georgia State records.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
he's relatively new to powerlifting,
Very.
or at least USA powerlifting.
Now, Tristan going for a 335 kilogram finish.
That's an extra 5 kilos over number 2.
Yes, ma'am.
738 pounds. He's our reigning
with the
collegiate reigning collegiate champion.
And he stands up. Hip shoot up a little bit. Can he get those hips through?
Was not successful. All right, he
Valiant
was in
effort.
4th place in the open, but he has solidly locked in the junior gold. All right, here's the situation now, though. Derek Downey Jr. or Derek Downey Dowry is coming after him.
Yes, ma'am.
They have the potential for swapping places.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Tristan is in the 4th spot, and he could move to 5th if Derek gets it, or rather if
Derek could go 3rd
right.
if he pulls. So they end up almost flip-flop. So we have Ryan Stills here for his second shot at 335. See if we can get it locked out all the way this time. And the judges say
They say a
2
good
to 1
lift.
lock. Awesome.
One referee gave the red card, indicating they don't feel that he was locked out. But he finishes with a successful 3rd attempt at 335 and finishes with an
Now,
850
Dowry.
kilo total.
Derek Dowry taking a shot to get that 3rd place spot, to go from an unknown to a 3rd place.
To go from 4th to 5th in the 120 plus.
Yes, ma'am. Trying to make sure he gets this 3rd.
Because what this means is the 3rd place position lifted this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
They're out in the audience holding
Biting
their
nails.
breath. They have no idea where they placed yet.
It's like rolling dice in a dark room.
So
Stands up with it. Does he shoot his hips through?
and
Judges say
3 white lights. 3 good deadlifts.
3 good deadlifts.
3 good deadlifts. All right, Derek.
Now, Jared Martin, 337 and a half. For a silver medal in the 120.
Jared already owns the silver medal in the 120. He's going to just try to lock that
Make sure
in.
you lock it in.
He's got an 897.5 kilo total. He's trying to bump it up to 912. He's got 744 on the bar with 337.5 kilos.
Well done from Jared Martin.
3 white lights. You cannot top off a day like that with any other way except for me to tell you he went 9 for 9. Woo. 9 for
No
9.
way to do it. Now we got Ray Williams coming up here.
Congratulations, Jared Martin, on a 9 day
Yes, ma'am.
at the USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals primetime session. That's outstanding. All right, here's the situation.
Yes, ma'am.
Ray Williams has put in, Ray Williams is our next lifter at 337.5 kilos,
Yes, ma'am.
which is 744. He is currently in the 2nd place position. He is trying to pull
for a win.
for the win. This is only 2.5 kilos that he needs to go up because Trevor Thomas Jr.
Missed his.
has a total of 935. All Ray needs to do is win by 2.5 kilos. He needs this to win the gold. And Ray is celebrating.
Gets his win.
That was a hard-fought win right there.
Yes, ma'am.
That was a hard-fought win. I don't remember the last time Ray went down to only 2.5 kilos between him and the next person.
I think the last time
final
I've seen
final
Ray pushed
deadlift
it all was Blaine Sumner.
Yeah.
2015, 2014
Absolutely.
in Finland.
All righty, here we go. Final 120-plus lifter in this flight, Ken Morris, 365 kilos.
He is going for the 804. This is after Jason Mike takes his shot, takes his stab at 342 and a half.
342. Jason is in 7th place in the open.
Yes, ma'am.
If he had made that, it would have moved him into third, but he stays in 7th place. However, Jason locked up Masters 1 in the 120 plus. Locked it up. All right, who do we have on the platform now?
So we got Ken Morris, who is pulling 804.
And this was his goal?
This is his goal. He's doing this to honor his grandfather. This is in honor of his grandfather. You love hearing stuff like that, man. And honestly, man, I whatever you're dedicated to somebody like this, man, you're pulling for more than just yourself.
All right. In addition, he's currently in the 6th place. When he is successful with pulling this, it will move him into 5th place with a 905. 365 kilos, 804 on the bar in honor of
his grandfather.
How wonderful to have that kind of relationship. I'm sure that his grandfather is putting his hand on his shoulder saying, I love you and I'm proud of you.
Good work, kid. Good work, brother.
Okay, let's go back.
So we got Nathan Alexander.
So let's review what Nathan did on his opener. 345. Then he went to 347.5 and timed out. Sometimes that's a strategy for a lifter, to let that clock run down to give yourself that 1 extra, that 5 extra, 10 extra minutes of rest. Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw why it works. 372 kilos. That was a 25-kilo increase. Am I doing my math right?
I believe so. The amount of people he just leapfrogged.
My goodness.
Never a dull moment. Moment.
You know what? I did my math right. 347 to 372 is 25 kilos, and he is in 3rd place, has it locked up completely, and finishes with an 870 kilo total. All right, at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure that we talk about our sponsors more time. So SBD and Aplift were the sponsors for our platform today with the prime time at the USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. Some of our other sponsors, LS McLean.
Oh, some of our sponsors, like I said, we've already given that special shout outs to SBD, of course to Aplift. We got to also more than shout out Rogue for providing us with some amazing equipment. We can go down to Renaissance Periodization. Thank you guys so very much just for your contribution. Titan's been a long-standing partner of the USAPL. Thank you guys yet again. Star Performance.
Yes, USA Powerlifting has been one of your partners for decades.
Yes. Literally decades. And, of course, Mark Bell Slingshot. Welcome to the family. Thanks for being a part of it. A7 always providing with this just quality, not just quality content and quality stuff, but just quality people. Each one of these sponsors is they're backed by quality people, and obviously USAPL is full of quality people, so it's a family. So we definitely appreciate each and every one of our sponsors. We thank each and every one of you guys for listening.
So this is Kathy Marksteiner
And L.S. McLean. We thank you guys.
at the 2019 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals, saying thank you so much.
Thank you
We
so
really
much.
enjoyed having you join us for the primetime session on Sunday with the 84-plus women and the 120 plus men. Have a great day.
God bless, guys.